PJ out due to personal reasons that just dropped. I do want to say before you start, theorizing and stuff like that, I get it's suspicious timing. His wife, significant other, girlfriend, I don't know their situation, is pregnant, and with all due respect, looks very pregnant. With all due respect. Yeah. So I'm assuming that's what it is. Congratulations to him if that's the case. I don't think that it's anything related to that. To the Luka trade. Now I could be wrong, of course. I could be very wrong, but I don't think. I think that's probably it. We got to win this season or next, otherwise I'm done. Yeah, I mean that's what the team told you. You guys want to know something really fucked up about all of this? Is he married? Is PJ Washington married? I want to tweet this. I don't want to be wrong. Is this how you say this? Him and his wife are expecting? Is that how you word that? We're gonna watch Luka's press conference. Yep. So yeah, that's there you go. That's what it is. So this is what I was saying. You guys want to know the fucked up thing? And I said yesterday, I was done mourning. Yesterday was my last day for mourning, and I meant it. I'm ready to go. Today, we're going to watch the press conference, and that's obviously going to make things a little bit more sad. But I'm ready to talk about basketball today. I watched the NBA last night, and I felt that it would take me a while to like really just talk about. And then of course you watch the games, and their commentators are bringing it up and shit. But I watched the games, and I had a blast. I had a blast watching the Trailblazers Suns game. I forgot about everything going on in the moment. See, like I have NBA TV. They're replaying the Warriors and Magic game, and they just cut to Steph Curry talking about the Luka trade. Like, I'm not convinced it's a good trade. I'm just saying I'm done. Like, yesterday was my last day to do the emotional side of things for me personally. I'm not telling you what to do. For me personally, yesterday was the last day to do the emotional sort of, I can't believe this, my life won't go on type of thing. And now it's time just to move on for me and focus on what's ahead. Now, I'm not telling you what to do. I want to say that. All right. I've decided. I was joking around when the trade first happened that I was going to do a fan tryout. It's just not in the cards for me, man. I'm going to root for the Mavs. I'm going to cheer for the Mavs. And I want to be very clear about something, okay? Rooting for the Mavs is not rooting for the Adelsons. I had some annoying fucks in my replies saying supporting this team, supporting the owners, the Zionist owners. It's like, okay, I mean, you're not necessarily wrong there, but were you supporting the team before the trade? Like that's a weird stance to have after the trade, because like you were supporting the team before the trade, weren't you? Like you knew what you were willingly doing beforehand. But also, I don't like this approach to anything in life at all, because look, material conditions for us plebs, us working class members of society already fucking sucks. Okay? It's not built for us to succeed. It's literally built for us to lose. That's how it works. The system doesn't operate otherwise, right? So yeah, there's going to be things. There's going to be things to keep our mind off of things. Sports are one of those, right? And the trade sucks. Supporting a team is not supporting a billion-dollar owner. It's not some moral compass issue, okay? It's not some moral compass issue. I don't go to games. I don't buy Mavs gear. I don't buy gear for anything. And I say, oh, Miriam Adelson's going to get a profit of this. Oh, yes. I love her. She's my favorite billionaire. Mark Cuban's going to make money off this. Oh, yes. That's exactly why I bought the ticket. No one fucking does that at all. It's one of the stupidest fucking things I hear people say. Period. It's very close to the, you're against capitalism, yet you have a cell phone? It's very similar to that. So just enough of that. Like that is moral grandstanding, in my opinion. I don't think anybody is seriously like that. Big talk coming from a multi-billionaire with a view of Dallas like that. I'm a champagne socialist. What can I say? So I want to say that. All right. Also, for me personally, watching and rooting for the team still is not an endorsement of Nico Harrison. I've grown up rooting for this team my entire life. I've seen highs, I've seen lows. I've been through it thick and thin. It's just, I'm not gonna lie, for a couple of days, I was like, is it even possible for me to like completely rip the Band-Aid off and just shift my attention fully to another team? I just don't think it's possible. I don't. Now, that's not to say it's impossible. I used to be a diehard Cowboys fan, like probably on par with how much of a Mavs fan I am currently. You know, I would watch every game, and I had the little NFL, whatever the fuck it was called, NFL's version of League Pass, and I would rewatch the game over the course of the week. So I'd watch it at least twice. And over time, they burned their trust with me so often, I didn't think that they were serious people anymore, and I stopped rooting for them. And I don't consider myself a Cowboys fan currently. But it's still sleeping inside of me. Once the Cowboys... Once one particular thing happens, and I won't say what it is, but once one particular thing happens, and I start to feel as if the Cowboys become more serious, then I will shift my attention back to it. But there's a big difference there. There's a big difference there between the Cowboys and the Mavericks. The Cowboys were a team I loved out of convenience almost, if that makes sense. They were the team that I grew up with. They're the biggest sports franchise in the United States. Like, there's some pride to that. Like, hey, I live in the city with the Dallas Cowboys. Everyone, it's a football state. You know, I played football growing up, fucking 7th and 8th grade, B team starting quarterback. We didn't win a single game in my tenure there. Didn't win a single game, and I'll take it a step further. I didn't throw for a single passing touchdown. We were terrible. We had 11 people on the team. Now, in case you don't know it, American football rules, you need 11 people to play the game. So... I watched them. I cared for them. Now, the big difference is I don't love football in the NFL the way I love basketball in the NBA. That's it. So the less interested I got in time with the Cowboys, I just fell out of love with them. And I didn't have that tie into football where it was just like, I can go weeks without watching football. My Sundays are open now. I don't care about football. I talk about it. I don't care. I don't watch it. I don't know anything about it. I'll watch the Super Bowl. I've watched some playoffs, but I don't care anything about it. I fucking love basketball. I was joking around Sunday. I was like, I don't want to consume any NBA content that I got on here yesterday. I was like, well, actually, I did watch the games last night on ESPN. Like, I like it. I like it too much. I love basketball too much. So, I'll continue to root for the team. You're going to be watching Luka and Lakers highlights off stream so you can enjoy it? No, there will be no secret about it. I'll be rooting for the Lakers and Luka. I mean, I like what reasoning would I have to not want Luka to do well? Like, I'll be rooting for him. I think it's going to be really fun to watch. So, people only want you to care about Mavs owner because those people hate Trump. Are you going to do any playback streams of Lakers games? I've thought about it. It's possible. Yeah, we're going to watch the Luka press conference. We are going to watch it. So anyways, that's my opinion on it. I'm going to continue to root for him. And in my opinion, rooting for them is not an endorsement of anything. It's you're a sports fan, man. You grew up rooting for the team. You grew up cheering for him. There's nothing wrong with continuing to cheer for him. Just the same way there's nothing wrong with saying this is it, I'm done. Nothing wrong with it. Okay? I just want to say that because I've seen both sides. I've seen people shit on people who aren't cheering anymore. I've seen people shit on people who will continue to cheer for the team. Do whatever the fuck you want, man. Do whatever the fuck you want, man. We're not on this planet for a long time. All right. Sports is a nice, fun little, I would say sideshow, but for some of us, it's not a sideshow. Sports is a nice, fun, thing that we can have a community around. We root for a team. We fall in love with the sport. We fall in love with the team. We cheer for them. We root for them. It's just a nice little thing to have. You have a sense of community with the fan base and with the people you talk about the game with. Like, it's fun. Is this fun? And if you're not having fun, then maybe you consider moving on. Like it is what it is. You grow emotional attachments to these players, and it sucks whenever they leave, whenever they get hurt, whatever the case may be. Luka press conference in 10 minutes. We're going to watch. Any chance Luka comes back after Nico is gone? Wouldn't say impossible. I mean, I guess it's not impossible, but I wouldn't say it's likely. Who has more mid-game locker room visits for the rest of the season, AD or Gafford? I have to say AD. I think it's got to be AD. All right, Tyler with the 499. This Luka trade is so shady. Jazz GM didn't know what was going on. I got the feeling Ainge would not have facilitated this trade and it would die. That was a very interesting little tidbit of this story. Quiet door for the 10 with Brad saying who the first person in the parking lot today was. It really does seem like Nico just got rid of everyone he wanted to be around in Dallas. Who was the first person in the parking lot? Thank you, Dwarf. No, at the 5. You're healing me slightly. I might not watch a game for a while, but you are single-handedly keeping me hopeful for Maverick basketball. I'm happy to hear that, Noah. Brett with the 20. Thanks for your content. Slightly contacted my season ticket rep to cancel for next year, and they refunded me the rest of the season. And she said they are all sad along with us. Man. Hot take conspiracy theory, not mine. Nico wants to be a commissioner after silver, and this was for the league. Wow, Jesus, I haven't heard that one. Brad Townsend is covering the Luka presser. Is he moving to LA? No, probably not. The Dallas Morning News probably wanted him there. Will the new look Mavs have the biggest starting 5 now or one of? We'll talk about the basketball side of things probably after the press conference. Tyler with the 2, crying during checkout. I'll buy a 77 LA Lakers jersey. Oh, the thing I was going to say was fucked up is my AC is not working. So if you're in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, it's 80 degrees in February right now. Probably not a good sign of things to come in the summer months, but 80 degrees. My AC is not working. Literally the first person I saw in the parking lot was Slovenian national team strength coach, Anzi Macic, whom Luka Doncic hired last season as his personal strength coach. Is that supposed to be surprising to me? Luka's own personal strength coach was at the parking lot. But anyways, my AC is not working, and it's been in my apartment stuck at 77 degrees. I'm not bullshitting you. It's been stuck at 77 degrees for 2 days. Oh, the one the Mavs fired. Oh, okay. All right. Let's go. Let's do this. How many NBA titles has Steph Curry won? 4. Who's the oldest active head coach in the NFL? I mean, isn't Pete Carroll 90? I mean, how old is that fucking geezer? Who did the Giants beat to win their first World Series? You guys are just piling on, huh? No, I get it. It's cool. No, it's fine. Dallas sports in the mud, I guess. Joe Mazzulla, Ime Udoka, Brad Stevens, blank. Wasn't it Doc? Wow, did they go from Doc Rivers to Brad Stevens? Damn. That's a pretty good coaching tree right there. Who was UNC's head coach immediately before Bill Belichick? Mac Brown. We're kind of cruising here, guys. We're kind of cruising. Unc's head coach. Where did Brittany Griner just sign a free agency? Oh, shit. Wasn't it Atlanta? What's their team name? Is it the Stars or the Dream? Let's go. Eric with the 199. What's your thoughts on Fox's Spurs trades? I did a big thing about it yesterday. I love it for the Spurs. Which of these cities is home to an American Coastal Conference football program? Oh, fuck. Boston College, right? That has to be this. Oh! I don't know what team that is. Who did Willie Mays finish his career with? He went to the Mets, didn't he? Damn it, man. And I knew that one. Who owns the record for most goals in U.S. women's national team history? Didn't they just ask us this? Wasn't this just a question? Is it Abby Wambach? I'm fucking pissed if we're going to get a 10 out of 10 on this otherwise. Who is currently leading NCAA Division I men's basketball in assists per game? I really got to start looking up my... No way it's Ryan Nembhard. Mark Sears? Oh, it's Ryan Nembhard. Stanford? Come on, bro. Christian Clark, 80 said he and Kyrie first talked about playing together in 2018. Didn't rule out possibility he plays Thursday, but sounds like he's targeting Saturday. Yeah, I think Saturday makes the most sense. Now, the problem is the Mavs might be 500 in that game. Good morning, folks. It is Tuesday, February 4th, 10:57 a.m. Central Standard Time. The Luka Doncic introductory press conference is about to go live, which we will watch. Together as one big happy family. Of course it sucks. Of course it's sad. And is there a way I can watch that, guys? YouTube.com/slightly biased if you're interested in following me. I'm interested. I'm always interested if there's Spotify only people. Lakers YouTube. Now, hopefully I don't get a copyright for this because I did get copyright. Not a strike, but a copyright. Oh, they're showing this on WFAA. All right. All right. But the Dallas guys, sorry, I don't want to see their commentary on this. Where's the Lakers YouTube page? All right, we'll look at this, I guess. So we're gonna watch this. Brad Townsend literally said the first person he saw was Luka's Slovenian health trainer. Yeah, I know. I heard that already. What channel can I watch the Luka press conference? We're watching it right here. Here we go. Shouldn't the Lakers have it on their channel? I guess so. So I will say this. The Luka's gonna get right. He's gonna get healthy. He's gonna do X, Y, and Z now that he's on the Lakers. Which I'm gonna tell you right now, it's probably true. That's probably true. Like, Luke, this is going to be a huge shot for Luka. No, at the $4.99 now. Let's get to real basketball discussions. How do we match up against the Pacers now? Yeah, look, Luka's probably going to use this as real motivation, and he's going to get healthy, and he's gonna get fit. That's like the no-win situation that the Mavs found themselves in. Because if I'm just putting myself in the head of the Mavericks and putting myself in the head of Nico Harrison, and if it was, hey, we're just so we're fed up. We're fed up with the fact that he's out of shape all the time. We wanted him to do X, Y, and Z, and he didn't do it. Again, this is just me putting myself in the head of the front office. Maybe they felt, no matter what, he's not going to do it here. He's not going to do it here. We trade him. We know for sure he'll do it somewhere else. But he's not going to do it here. Now, that would lead to some frustrations for me. Is just like, why couldn't you do it here? But that's, he's 25 years old. He's still young. There's been plenty of historical, plenty of instances of all-time greats famously not taking their body seriously until later in their career, or at least towards the back half of their career once they hit their prime. No at the $4.99. Oh, I already read that. Garrett with the $1.99. Luka going to get more national respect in LA? Probably. I do think, though, that his bad games and stuff like that will be more in the limelight. I mean, that's just that's playing for the Los Angeles Lakers, Eagles owner Jeffrey Lurie isn't planning on buying the Celtics. I'm not looking to own another sports franchise. I forgot that was a thing. All right. Let me just tweet out that I'm watching this. I'm watching the Luka presser. Get in here. This is insane. It is insane. What's up with the? Is there going to be an AD presser? Like, are they just not going to do one? I think it would be really. I think it would be really helpful, I think, if the Mavs did one with AD. The original press conference they did with Nico Harrison and Jason Kidd was a disaster. But getting AD out there and just saying, hey, guys, this guy's good. This guy's good at the sport. So I know everything fucking sucks right now, but now at the 5, the Mavs have to go and trade for an elite point guard to Trae Young or LaMelo. No other way for the Mavs fans to be engaged in the team again. Gabriel with the 5. Love your show. Not sure if you mentioned it, but even if Dallas wins a ring this year or next year, doesn't mean they wouldn't have with Luka. No, that's fair. That's fair. If the Mavs do win, and I don't think they're a championship team right now at all. I don't think they're a championship team whatsoever. Just thinking of the Mavs, they could use their remaining picks plus Laker pick to trade for a point guard and go all in and see if you win it this year. Yeah, there's avenues for them to make a big trade between now and Thursday. I don't know if they're going to or not. So we'll see. Sally, what do you think Luka's career average versus the Mavericks will be? Probably 80 to 83. You've all at the 5. You're great. Your thoughts, please, about PJ and Gaff be traded for someone? I don't know anyone worth them both other than Wemby, Jokic. Giannis, how about you? So one thing that we've learned in this process, right, is Nico loves his guys. Nico forms a connection with these players and wants them. PJ Washington is one of those guys. I would be very shocked if he gets traded. These are the type of guys he wants to go out and get. So I'd be very surprised if he gets traded. Gafford, obviously, with Lively if Lively were healthy, I would tell you the chances that Daniel Gafford is on this team past Thursday is probably 10%. Like, I would say he's for sure getting dealt between now and the deadline. I'm not sure if that's still an option. If they say, yeah, we want AD to play the 5, or we want AD to play the 4, but if a trade is available that gets us a guard and we have to move Gafford, we're okay with that. And AD, just wait until Lively comes back. Any chance they trade Lively now? I would be flabbergasted, but I mean, there's always a chance. I can't say no. There's always a fucking chance, I guess. The Denver guy who does a pod with HP Basketball said the Mavs have to move D-Live now because he doesn't work with the spacing. No, they don't have to move D-Live. Ben and Skin talked about this on their stream yesterday. Skin, who obviously works with the team, said that Lively shooting threes is like the summer thing. He will be shooting threes next year. Now, we heard that this year, but he sounded pretty matter of fact about it. JJ Redick's probably so excited. Oh, hell yeah. Kyrie sounds like he's playing. Yes, I'm still a Mavs fan. At least we have arguably the best front court rotation in the NBA. I don't know how much there is to argue about it. I mean, AD, Lively, and Gafford. And then if you want to throw PJ into that mix too, it's pretty fucking difficult to be better than that. Chet, J-Dub, What would it cost to get James Harden? Probably a lot. Oh shit, there he is. There he is. There he is. There he is. Luka has arrived. Watch the Lakers official stream. What's the difference? This is surreal. If you're listening to this on Spotify, we are currently listening to the Los Angeles Lakers live press conference for Luka Doncic.
Before I start talking about the young man next to me, I want to thank Jalen Hood-Schifino, Max Christie, and Anthony Davis for their incredible service here. There's no player that played as big a role to our 17th championship than Anthony Davis, who's also a person of incredibly high character. So those three guys are Lakers for life, and just want to thank them before we start. No. So in thinking about today and what it means, I think Luka Doncic joining forces with the Los Angeles Lakers is a seismic event in NBA history. And the reason I say that is because we have a 25-year-old global superstar.
Any chance this was collusion? No.
That's going to get on the stage of the most popular and influential basketball brand on the globe. And I think when those two powerful forces come together, it brings basketball joy to the world, because that's how Luka plays. He plays with joy. And if you think about kids in Barcelona or kids in Buenos Aires or children in Shanghai or Sydney, they're going to be wearing a number 77 Luka Doncic Lakers jersey and bringing joy to basketball just like he does. And that's why it's powerful. I think the leadership of Adam Silver and the way he's bringing the game to the world.
Tyler with the two, they make dude look like a prisoner.
You see it in Europe. You see it in Africa, what the NBA is doing. And now we have one of the game's biggest superstars an international player coming to join the Los Angeles Lakers. It's a convergence of all those forces, and I think it's going to be something incredibly special that the NBA and basketball has never seen before. So to get to this place, there's a couple people I want to thank. First and foremost is Jeannie Buss. She's so supportive. I think her vision, which falls in line with the great and late Dr. Buss, to always make sure the brightest and best basketball superstars play for the Los Angeles Lakers. She's clearly carried that vision on from her dad, and I just want to thank her for her tremendous support and vision in helping this day become a reality. The second person I want to thank is anytime there's a trade or a transaction, there has to be a partner. And I want to thank the Dallas Mavericks, led by their GM, Nico Harrison, who was also very instrumental in bringing this opportunity to us and then staying true to the negotiations throughout where it could be culminated with the trade being finalized and Luka Doncic, Maxi Kleber, and Markieff Morris becoming members of our team. So wanted to thank those two people. And now we'll start with questions.
Fuck you.
Hey, Luka, there's a video the Lakers put out the other day of you noticed somebody was talking to you in Slovenian during a game in 2019. It's Kobe, and you turn around, you have the moment with him after the game. And just think, how do you go from that to then now joining the Lakers with LeBron James and just thinking of the legacies of those two players and you having the chance to be the next one?
Well, first of all, I remember the exact moment that happened. It will always stay, in my mind. It was an amazing moment. Just for Kobe to know my name was amazing for me.
That's the first question,
I just
really.
wish Kobe and Gigi were here to see this moment. And, I'm excited about this new journey and happy to be here.
All of us here standing here waiting for you to come. What's your reaction to seeing all of us here to welcome you to Los Angeles?
Well, first of all, it's very nice. There's a lot of people here. I don't think there's ever been so many people in my press conference, so I really appreciate all the support.
Luka, welcome to Los Angeles. I'm curious, what's your reaction been the last 48 hours to some of the comments coming from Dallas on your way out the door to join the Lakers?
I'm just excited, to be here to start this new journey.
Who asked that?
And obviously,
Who the fuck asked that?
At some point I knew this was going to happen, but I would say I always take the high road. I had my amazing moments in Dallas with all my teammates, coaches, and the most importantly, the fans. They always supported me, and it was an amazing journey.
Hey, Luka, Dan Wicke with the LA Times. Welcome to LA. You, in a podcast with JJ years ago, said that the one NBA player that you watched was LeBron James. What is your kind of reaction to being able to now play with him, and how do you think that's going to work for the two of you guys on the court?
It's just like a dream come true, I always look up to him. There's so many things I can learn from him, and I'm just excited, just to learn everything, and now I get to play with him.
LA media is so lame, bro. 2 of the 3 questions. Kobe, LeBron.
Zdravo, Luka. Jovan Buha with The Athletic. Just kind of following up on that, how do you see you and LeBron specifically, just the two-man game between you? You both can screen for each other, hit guys out of the short roll, create playmaking opportunities. Just how you guys both see the game. Very few can see it that way. Like, how do you see that fit from a passing, playmaking, and just two-man game perspective?
Yeah, I think we both make our teammates better. I think our IQ is very high, so I think that's going to help everybody. But obviously, I really haven't think about basketball much these days. But I'm just excited to work with him. I work every day here, so every day that goes by is going to be better.
Luka, Kobe Price, SoCal News Group. Welcome to LA. Got one for both you guys. First for you, Luka. I think you even wrote in a social media post that you thought that Dallas is going to be a place that you're looking forward to win championships, staying for your career. Emotionally, what have the past 48 to, I guess, 60 hours been for you in coming to LA?
Well, honestly, it was hard first. That first day was really hard. I felt like this last 48 hours was 1 month. Like 2 days ago was 1 month ago. So emotionally, it was really hard. But every day that like today was much better. I'm just very happy to be here for this opportunity. It's the Lakers. It's one of the best clubs in history. So I'm excited to be here.
And for Rob, Nico was speaking with reporters, I believe on Sunday after the trade. He praised you specifically for, keeping the negotiations between you two up until, I imagine, the final moments. At what point did you, introduce this trade idea to Jeannie, and what was her initial reaction when you told her about it?
Yeah, so this all started with the coffee in Dallas where Nico approached us with the concept, and because there was a partnership and a history of travel in the world between Nico and myself working around Kobe Bryant, there was a fabric of trust in the discussions. And these type of deals are incredibly intricate and complicated. And along the way, we knew there would be 248 insurmountable snags to get to the end, and there were. And so over the course of 3 weeks, call it, an issue would come up, and we'd think there was no way to climb the mountain, and we'd figure out a way. Then the next issue would come up, and you just keep going, and you stay committed to the work. You stay committed to trying to get the deal done in a partnership sense. I think a lot of people talk about negotiations in terms of who won and who lost. I try to approach a negotiation in the sense of how do we build a partnership where we can get to the end. And I think that was the lens that we worked and the premise we worked under. And when the concept was initially introduced to us, it was, hey, the only way we can even have these discussions was if it's between owner and GMs. And there was a commitment to that. And if we broke that commitment by talking to anyone else, this day would never happen. So I think trust was at the center of all those discussions. And I called Jeannie after the coffee in Dallas and brought her in immediately, as I do with everything. Her and I have a really strong working relationship, and the fabric of that is that we share things in real time. And she was extraordinarily excited and hopeful that we could get to the end, which we were able to do.
Hey, Luka and Rob, Melissa Roll, Fox Sports. Over here. I have a question for both of you guys. Obviously, from the league's biggest superstars to fans, people were shocked that the Mavericks were willing to deal a 25-year-old superstar in his prime who has another 10 years at least ahead of him. What was both of your guys', Rob, what was your level of shock that this was even on the table? And Luka, what was your level of shock that the Mavs were willing to deal you?
I try to take everything in stride. I think, it's interesting if all of us watch Luka play. He has a combination of basketball joy and killer instinct, which is really rare.
That's a real question, folks.
That
That's
was
not
number
some
8,
bullshit
number 24.
Kobe Bryant fluff piece.
And I think learning lessons from that mentality are to stay in the moment. And so I don't think of it in terms of shock, surprise. I think of it in, okay, this is coming at me. It's like a game. Maybe a blitz is coming at Luka. He's not going to be shocked. He's going to stay in the moment, figure out the read, and make the play. And so when the opportunity came to me, that was sort of my mindset, is to, okay, this is coming. This is a concept that came to me. Now, how do I process this mentally to get the deal completed? And right away, when it was brought up at the coffee, my mind started churning. There were so many complicated things. We have the Mavericks are hard capped at the first apron. The Lakers are up against the second apron. There's trade kickers. There's going to be a third team that's going to have. So my gears were turning about the deal the same way his basketball mind is processing a play. And so I just tried to live in the moment, and I tried to carry that with me for 3 or 4 weeks as this was unfolding. And by staying in the moment, I think it helped us get to the end.
I mean, everybody was surprised, so you can imagine how surprised I was. I was almost asleep, so when I got a call, I had to check it was April 1st. I didn't really believe it at first, and it was a bit shock. It was hard moments for me. It was home, so it was really hard moments for me, especially the first day. But as I said, I get to play in the greatest club in the world, and I'm excited for this new journey.
Luka, over here on your left, Malika Andrews with ESPN. It's good to see you. Welcome to LA. You've been a fan of LeBron. You've talked about it for a long time, but he's also been a fan of you. He's tried to work with you at various different times in the past, whether it be shoe deals or other things. I'm curious, what message did he reach out to you with? Was it a text? Was it a call? What was that? And how did that fuel the way that you think about coming to LA as well?
Yeah, he called me right away. He was in New York, so he called me right away. And we didn't talk much because, he said, I understand what you're feeling. But that was really nice of him just to call me right away and welcome me to LA.
Hey, Luka. We've heard from so many other players across the league, Anthony Edwards, Steph Curry, Giannis, talking about their shock at this and also what it means for how teams feel about players and how no one's really safe, quote unquote, to use Steph's words. What have players said to you, and what has it meant to you to have them speak out the way they have?
I saw some comments. I wasn't really trying to be on social media these days, but I saw some comments, and it really means a lot. We are rivals, and they speak about me that nicely, so it really means a lot to me, and sure. Oh, directly, I haven't talked to a lot of people, really.
Hey, Luka, Nikki Kay with Spectrum News right here. So emotionally, you go from thinking you're going to spend your career with one fan base, and now you arrive in a new city. First of all, impressions of Los Angeles and its fans from afar, and what does this opportunity to, have another love story with LA goes?
Yeah, I would say, like you said, I thought I was going to spend my whole career there. Because I think loyalty is a big word for me, and I was trying to stay by that. But this for me is a fresh start. I get to play in LA. The fans are amazing, and I got the ocean here, so it's a really big thing for me. But really, I'm really excited to be here. I getting to play for the Lakers, and everybody can say that. And many legends passed here, many championships. So that's my goal.
Luka, Brad Townsend, Dallas Morning News. So you wrote a Dear Dallas letter to fans that was, very heartfelt, and you talked a little bit about, your shock. How are your feelings toward the upper levels of the organization, Nico in particular?
Oh, here we go.
The decision to trade you.
Well, that's their decision, so I have no comment on that. They made the decision. I don't know why. But that's their decision, so I can't do nothing about it.
And then one of the reasons that was given was that there was concern that, beyond this summer, or that there's a chance you might not agree to the Supermax extension. Did you or anyone on your inner circle indicate that might be the case?
Absolutely not. It's easy as
Luka, over here, Bill Plaschke, LA Times. Do you feel you have
I want to
something
say
prove?
when Luka said when Nico said they were getting ahead of the situation,
Do you think you have
what
something
he
to
was
prove?
saying was they didn't want to pay him the max. It wasn't we were scared that they're not gonna accept it. It was that
That's it. Win the championship.
it was we don't want to pay him the max.
Championship. So I have everything left to prove. So and the goal is to win the championship.
Luka, good to see you. Mark Medina with Athlon Sports and Sportskeeda. How do you address the criticism that's followed you on your way out about concerns about conditioning and durability?
It's a motive. I know it's not true. I know, but it's a motive. Like I say, I came here, one of the biggest clubs in history of sports, so it's a big motive for a long run here.
I'll just add to that one, Mark. I think I think greatness is an evolution in a process. And I think if you're striving for perfection, as we are as an organization or as a player, you're going to have challenges to make yourself better until you don't play anymore. And so I think that's just something to keep in mind. We're getting, I would assume the question will be forthcoming, when is Luka going to play? I'd rather just take that one head on. Our sports performance department is led by Dr. Leroy Sims. Luka's got trusted sports performance folks that are going to become part of our family and Dr. Sims' circle. And they're working together as we speak about a return to play plan. We have 5-on-5 scheduled tomorrow for Luka, and we're going to take it one day at a time just to make sure that the calf injury is in a good and safe place. So I would truly say at this point he's day to day. We're going to take it one step at a time. But if all those days go well and Luka feels good and confident, he'll be in a game soon. But we're going to partner with him. And I should mention, too, his amazing team who's now part of our family, led by Laura Beth and Bill Duffy and the rest of the folks that are here today. When we make decisions around superstar players, and we partner and collaborate with them, and that'll be our process with Laura Beth and Duff, who are incredible at what they do.
Jared Greenberg with TNT. Rob, you stole my question there. I was going to ask Luka, I guess more about that, just hear from you what this process has been like. You've gone through it now 4 times with this calf. So what have you done to get back on the court? How are you feeling? And how confident are you in that this won't be a reoccurring injury?
Well, for the first time, I took my time. Get it to heal 100%. Other times I think I just wanted to go back on court playing basketball and not really be healthy 100%. So this time I just took my time, which was normal amount of time to get back to 100%.
Luka, David Pingalore, KTLA. Over the last couple of days, I talked about your conditioning, but maybe your lack of defense. What is your commitment to being a better defender?
Yeah, I think this year I really stepped it up honestly, and it's just being more active, more vocal, and I think I did a step ahead this year, but I need to do more steps ahead. So that's what I'm planning on.
Hey, Rob, just obviously make a blockbuster move like this. What is your balance of thinking long-term with 25-year-old and then also just the short-term, knowing that the deadline's coming up on Thursday, just balancing the long-term vision with the short-term?
We know that our roster has continued work to do to become complete. And just to be clear around the vision for our roster, we're going to build a roster that fits J.J. Redick's philosophy, his basketball philosophy.
Throwing JJ under the bus just for future, just to protect yourself from the future. I respect that.
That we want to lean into.
Just letting you guys know, if you hate anything I do between now and Thursday, I'm doing it because of JJ Redick.
Extensively around that and fitting how he wants to play. We know we have a need for a big. The market for bigs right now, leading into the last 2 or 3 days of the trade deadline, is very dry. There's just not a lot available. So maybe we'll be able to do some stuff around the margins. I would say in terms of a big move for that position, it's probably more realistic that would be something that comes in the offseason. But Luka will be at the center of that as we build for the long term. We want to format a team that fits JJ's coaching style and his strengths and his needs to help us win a championship with the other people that are also on our team right now who are going to be a big part of that winning as well. But your question was about long term, so I'm speaking more to long term.
Luka, I know you had about 13 games as a teammate with JJ in Dallas, and just wondered what that was like for you, the relationship that you formed, and then your thoughts about playing for him as a coach.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, he couldn't move at all, so it wasn't really. No, but it was a great relationship. I really respect him. You don't see me go on podcast. I went on his podcast twice, so you know how much respect I have for him. So I'm really excited that I can play for him.
Rob, good to see you. Along the same lines with the trade deadline and
Guys, if you're about to go up and ask a question, clear your fucking throat before a mic gets put in your face.
Finals appearance last year.
I mean, you guys are pros, man.
Second season, 40 years old. Like, what's the urgency level to have this team in the immediate future reach championship contender status? And whether that immediate future is between now and Thursday or the offseason going into next year, just kind of what is the view in terms of the timeline to get this team to be able to contend?
The urgency is ever present. From the first day I started taking this job till I sit in the chair right now, there's always an urgency to win championships. That's what the Lakers set out to do. That's the expectations of our fans, and we're going to put in the work to constantly try to do it. At the same time, you have to be realistic, and if there's not a championship big on the market right now, I can't wave a wand and create that opportunity. We'll continue to work and look for areas that we can complete and fill out the roster. But as we saw with this trade, it takes two teams. But we'll continue to build. Luka and I spent some time yesterday up in my office just talking about the players on our roster he's played with and kind of what he sees as sort of short-term and long-term needs. And I think we'll continue to have those basketball discussions and get this roster to a championship level.
Luka, Mike mentioned J.J. Redick, your former teammate. You've got Maxey and Markieff over there. Dorian Finney-Smith is a player you've spoken very highly about in the past. Greg St. Jean was a coach you've worked with. How is that going to help as you take on this crazy life change, having all these familiar faces be here for that transition?
I think that's a really good thing, to come to a new place, but still know some people. And I think that's mentally, I think that's a really good thing, and they're gonna just help me. The guys that were here, they'll help me learn new stuff about LA, about the team, and it's just helpful to see friendly faces.
Edwin Garcia, Silver Screen and Roll. My question's for Pelinka. Rob, when you're talking about a championship caliber big and aligning with J.J. Redick, what do you think the values in that position are required in the modern NBA?
Versatility, mobility, a vertical lob threat. I think that's a key to the spacing that Luka likes to play with. Competitive. I think, those are some of the core things there. Those players are hard to find, but we'll accomplish the task that's before us. We'll find a way.
Rob, over here. As far as just the future and the moves that you're going to be making, designing the roster, planning, how
Pelinka does not sound like he thinks this is a championship team at all.
Luka, you have maybe a decade that you can use as a roadmap in terms of just every decision you're looking to make?
It's a gift. We're talking about a 25-year-old that is top 3 player in the universe. I can't think of a more amazing starting point to build a roster for the next decade. And I know he has the drive to win that we have here. Our fans are going to see that every night on the court. I know up here he might seem calm and casual and quiet, but we know the alter ego comes out, and we'll see it at crypto.com soon, and I can't wait for it.
Thanks, everyone.
I don't want to see this part. I really don't want to see this part. Luka's holding up his Lakers jersey right now. And that's that. That's the end of the presser, folks. Okay. I mean, a couple of tidbits, juicy bits. Obviously, Luka saying that he thought he was going to sign the extension. Luka saying this was really kind of the big one right here. Brad Townsend asking if anyone in his inner circle indicated to the Mavs that he wasn't going to sign a Supermax contract extension with the Mavs this summer. Absolutely not. Easy answer was the reply, which stings a little bit, obviously, because one of the reasonings Nico Harrison had was that he felt as though he was getting ahead of the situation. Now, what does that mean? Well, I think you would hear that and just immediately assume, they think Luka's going to leave, right? They think Luka's going to leave in free agency, and this is their way to get ahead of it. And he might demand a trade, so we'll control the market, and that's that. Well, that appears to maybe not be the case. Luka wanted to stay, and I'm telling you guys, when Nico says that, you hear that, and that's what your brain goes to. I'm telling you guys, what Nico meant when he said that was, I don't know if we want to pay him $350 million. That is the troubling part. That's it. He didn't want to pay him $350 million for one reason or another. So, yeah, that's it. That's that. It's not that he was worried that Luka wasn't going to accept it. It was that he didn't want to do it. So, heard he was willing to take less to ensure they win with the right pieces. Who'd you hear that from? I think Nico's just cowardly, saw potential risk, and got the fuck out. I will say this about Nico Harrison. I would not call him a coward. I've seen people call him a coward. I would not call him a coward. This is not a very cowardly move. Okay? I would, in fact, say it's the opposite of being a coward. It's one of the ballsiest moves ever made in the history of sports. Is it a smart move? No. Coward is not the word I would use. So, look, the press conference was the press conference. One of my main takeaways is, and we're going to segue this into talking about the actual basketball side of this, but one of my main takeaways was Rob Pelinka. Didn't sound like he was all that confident in this Lakers roster really whatsoever. And Luka looks like his fucking puppy died. Like that's, Luka looks like his puppy died. Like Luka looks bad, and it was sad to hear Luka's answers to how sad he was, how it took a full 48 hours for him, and the first day was really tough. I mean, that's very sad to hear. Very sad. So, but this is a new beginning for Luka. He's going to be locked in and ready to go, man. I mean, that much is certain. I will say this. I think the longer the Mavs go without doing an introductory press conference for Anthony Davis, the stupider I think that decision is. They need to do one ASAP. They need to do one today. I know they're probably waiting to go back home, but they need to do one. They need to put Anthony Davis in front of a TV screen. They need to ask him questions, and they need to throw him softball questions, and they need him to say how excited he is to be in Dallas and how how he's going to help the team win games and how the goal is to win a championship. Now, is that going to be fluff answers? Yes, they need to fucking do it for PR reasons. AD just did an interview. All right, where can I find that? Does Mike Curtis have that, maybe? All right, we have AD. We have AD talking now. So okay. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about. Anthony Davis on his initial reaction to the trade.
Like I said, I didn't know. I was actually at home about to watch a movie with my wife and got the phone call. So I had no idea. I just sent the team a text about congratulations on the win against the Knicks, big win, and then looking forward to Tuesday's game against the Clippers as far as standing purposes. And then found out like an hour later I was no longer with the team. So I was in shock, obviously. I had no idea that it was happening. But now it's I'm kind of over it and just kind of getting ready to play with Dallas.
What was that initial conversation like with Nico? And obviously you have a history with him and J. Kidd.
Yeah.
Just about the opportunity you have here.
Yeah. Obviously excitement. Nico believes in me, what I can add to this team. I'm not going to put everything that we talked about out there, but we're both, extremely excited about what we can do, and I think we have a great opportunity to win championship.
All right. Thanks, AD.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
I mean, he definitely said championship. Who said he didn't say championship? What is their thinking here? What is their thinking here? I don't get why an interview like this instead of a full-fledged fucking press conference. I don't understand that at all. I really don't get it. Does Bontemps have more? Anthony Davis said this morning that while he isn't playing tonight with the abdominal strain he suffered last week, he was going to go through a post-shoot-around workout and that he could return as soon as Thursday in Boston or Saturday at home against Houston. It's going to be Saturday. AD on why he gave up his $6 million trade bonus, trying to help the team. Obviously, you always want to get better, and losing a monumental piece like Luka, it's a lot, right? So I'm just trying to do my part and help Nico and the organization on how we can continuously get better. Keegan with the 199. Root for Luka or the Mavs in the Lakers-Mavs playoffs. Man, what the fuck do you think? Honestly, I know you guys, I know a lot of you guys are upset, and that might be a difficult one for you guys, but what the fuck do you think my answer to that question is? Let me check on some of these donations here that happened during the interview. Ian with the 279. Luka looks mad. Yeah, he looked upset during that presser. He for sure did. Abe with the 2. Thanks, Nico. You saved my job. Pelinka's probably not going anywhere. I mean, he has such deep-rooted ties to the Lakers organization. Armando with the 2. Luka hates the media in Dallas. LA finna be crazy. Yeah. I will say that the press conference hilarious. The first two of the first 3 questions about Kobe Bryant and LeBron James. I mean, I get it, but just kind of a hilarious first couple questions. Very first question was about Kobe Bryant. Like, how is that your first question? No laughing matter with the 5. Pelinka schemed all this, bro. Magic said he is the biggest snake he ever met. Ooh. Scheming up for real. Quiet door for the 10. What did he mean by I always knew at some point this would happen? Yeah, that was an interesting answer. Keegan with the 199. F Nico. Tyler with the 499. Damn, man, Luka is loyal and looks so sad and betrayed. I hope Nico finds himself under a lightning bolt. Keegan with the 199. Root for, already read that. Man. He said that because he knows Nico hates him. Yeah, that's probably it. So let's video of Kyrie practicing. Kyrie's apparently out on the court, smiling, looking good. So, I mean, there's that for everyone who thought Kyrie wouldn't show his face ever again. He is there. Obviously waiting for some words from him. But I guess we'll see when that happens. Rob Pelinka needs Nico to build his championship roster in LA. I guess we'll see. You see what Ann said about the trade? You can always count on him to have no filter. Yeah, I saw what he said. I'll never hope my team loses. Y'all so fucking sad, bro. I mean, I'm not in a Lakers Mavs playoff series. I'm rooting very, very hard for the Mavs. Very, very hard. People trying to justify the trade in the comments is insane. There's really no justifying the trade. There's really no justifying it. Tyler with the 5. My inner MFFL is ready for AD plus Gaff D-Live combo, but that means QG, Najee, and Clay have to show up in the playoffs. Okay. Let's just start talking about the basketball side of this, right? I said yesterday was the last day for morning. I meant it for me and for this channel moving forward. We watched the press conference. It was sad. It's time to move on and just discuss. These guys are going to lace him up, step on the basketball court, and play basketball. So it's time to dive into it for the Dallas Mavericks. I look at their team with AD, with Max Christie now, who, again, I've said this and I'll say it again. The moment this trade happened, I had several friends of mine who are Lakers fans, watch every Lakers game. They all obviously texted me, messaged me, whatever. And one of the one thing all of them said, was, you guys are going to love Max Christie. Like, that was the one thing that they all said, which I thought was hilarious. But you look at this team, and it's interesting, right? Because they felt their window was now, and they made this trade because, one, they didn't want to pay Luka $350 million. That's that. They didn't trust him. They didn't trust his conditioning. They didn't trust his ability to recover from injury, and they were worried that him not taking it seriously whatsoever was going to lead to more injuries down the line. Is that justifiable? I don't think so whatsoever. I think you just hold on to that guy, and whatever happens, happens. Because you're not going to replace him, right? You're just not. You're simply not. Now, with that in mind, with that being said, we haven't seen Luka healthy in a year. We just haven't. That much is true. We have not seen Luka healthy in a calendar year. I mean, when did Luka start having knee problems last year? Haynes tweet. We got a Haynes brief. Sources: Jimmy Butler camp has reportedly told Heat he's in shape, healthy, and ready to continue his career and move past this immediately. Their messaging to Heat has been to negotiate best deal possible and wants in red zone if that team is granted permission by Miami to speak with Butler's rep to discuss his long-term future. That dialogue would be welcome. To date, no team has asked for permission. So Jimmy's walking all this back. Is that what that sounds like? I'm done with the Jimmy Butler shit. Like, brother, you're done. It's over for you. We don't care anymore. We've moved on collectively. Your sad saga, which is sad, we're done. It's fucking embarrassing, and we moved on. Mavs, send us to the Shadow Realms with the $5. Something random with the 10. Probably my last super chat here. It was fun supporting you and spend a few bucks here. Although I'm a Luka fan, it was fun. It hurts having to leave, but Mavs. But I think I love turn to hate. I'm out. Peace. Well, that's unfortunate to hear, but thank you, something random, for all of your time spent here. Why can't Jimmy say no to trades but not Luka? I'm annoyed at the Jimmy Butler saga. Jimmy Butler demanding a trade is cool and all. I'm annoyed at the saga. I'm annoyed as to how fucking annoying it is. Okay? But anyways, this Mavericks roster, they've opened up their window to be now. I look at this team and I do not think this is a championship team. Full stop. For a multitude of different reasons. Reason number one is offensively, you need another creator badly. You just traded maybe the best offensive engine in the league. You just traded one of the best offensive players of a generation. You can talk about defense all you want. at the end of the day, losing a guy who can go out any given night, no matter the defense, and score 30 points and have 10 assists is fucking next to impossible. Actually, probably impossible to replace. Did you upgrade defensively? I've seen tweets that have been like, the Mavs aren't even that good defensively. No, you've upgraded defensively, and your team's going to be nasty defensively. On paper, at least. It should be. Logan with the 5. Hey, Slides, my last message here in the Slight Delusional Club. I'm a huge Markieff Morris fan, and where he goes, I go. Thanks for the time. Wow. We're losing the Markieff Morris stands, folks. It's over. Thank you, Logan. But the defense is going to be good. And you can, this projected starting 5 of Kyrie, Clay, PJ, Anthony Davis, and Gafford when healthy, this season at least, and then maybe towards the end of the year or going into the playoffs or next year, you can throw Derek Lively into the 5 spot. You have Lively and Anthony Davis as your starting front court. That's nasty defensively. PJ as your starting 3. I think that's nasty defensively. Then you have Clay and Kyrie. It's not the best defensive backcourt, but you can throw in Max Christie for Clay. You can throw in Quentin Grimes for Clay. And all of a sudden you have 4 good to great to elite, best in the world level defenders. And Kyrie, who's, not great defensively, but also, not horrific, right? And I'm not saying anybody involved in the trade is a horrific defender or anything like that, but you've got an all-world elite, potentially the biggest difference maker on the defensive side of the basketball, outside of maybe Victor Wembanyama, in the form of Anthony Davis. So you're defensively, you're going to be great. And then you even have some, versatile lineups now where I'm assuming closing down. They've already mentioned this, but down the stretch, closing wise, Anthony Davis at the 5. You could go Kyrie, Clay, Christie, or Grimes, PJ, and Anthony Davis, and that's a great defensive group with a lot of versatility. So defensively, you're going to be fantastic. You're going to be good at rebounding the basketball. Now, the problem is offensively, on the offensive side of things. You've been struggling offensively during this stretch without Luka Doncic since you went down with an injury on Christmas Day. Now, I've been trying to say this since the injury. It's very difficult to look at this, their numbers since then, because they've been dealing with so many injuries. It's not just Luka, but they've been dealing with so many injuries over the past month or so of the season. Right? Luka and Kyrie being called the best offensive backcourt in NBA history, and they might have been. How are you going to replace that? Well, Anthony Davis is not a slouch offensively. Like, it's not like the Mavs traded for Rudy Gobert. Anthony Davis is not a slouch on the offensive side of the court. You give him the ball in the post. I'm already envisioning situations where, especially closing games when AD's out there at the 5, closing games where AD is posting up or AD is attacking the rim, the defense is collapsing in, and Klay Thompson is shooting a wide open 3. Kyrie Irving is shooting a wide open 3. PJ Washington is shooting a wide open 3. I think offensively, you're gonna take a pretty big hit. I've listened to some Lakers film guys on AD. They basically said, yeah, he's not stretching the floor much, so good luck with the scoring. Yeah, I mean, the potential starting 5 of AD next to another center has huge spacing concerns. However, AD at the 5, I think you're still fine, spacing-wise. You can surround him with 4 shooters. You'd still have 4 shooters surrounding AD that the Lakers did not have. I want that to be clear as well. The Lakers roster, and we'll get to them, fucking sucks. It fucking reeks. You understand? So the Mavs are going to provide him with more floor spacing, especially when he's playing the 5. You can stretch AD out to the perimeter as a stretch 4. His shooting's not good enough. So if you have AD and Gafford on the court, that does provide some spacing concerns. He wants to play the 4, and he'll have opportunity to play the 4 here, but he's going to close as the 5. He's gonna close as the 5, and I think he'll be fine with that. I don't think he wants to play the 5 all the time. I mean, I guess they're 5th in the West currently. That's fine. All of the advanced under the hood numbers does not say that the Los Angeles Lakers are a great basketball team. Okay. He can shoot theoretically. Yeah, I mean, sure. So the Mavericks, since December 25th, when Luka went out with an injury, 7-13. They have the 26th. They're 26th in net rating over that stretch. 21st in offense, 26th in defense. So over the past month or so, they've been one of the worst teams in all basketball. Now, granted, there is a couple of completely and totally punted games there that have affected the results here a little bit, you know? We only see your depth chart if you are showing something else. No, I'm just looking at stats here off to the side. This is the Mavericks since December 26th. It's been bleak. And it doesn't help that the Mavs have been dealing with so many other injuries as well. What do the Mavs do at the end of games? Down 3 now. Pray to God Clay is an 0 from 9 from 3 that day. I mean, this is going to be a challenge offensively for the Mavs. And the question is, do you have faith in Jason Kidd and figuring out the ways to make this work offensively? I don't quite know how the answer to that question could be yes, to be honest with you, all things considered. If we can beat OKC with AD, we can run through the West. This is why I'm so. You wanted to be a team that is contending between now and the next 2 to 3 years. I don't think offensively you're going to have the chops. I don't think you are. I don't think you are. Like, Kyrie's not anywhere near, and I love Kyrie. He's not anywhere near the playmaker Luka is. You don't have anybody internally on your roster who can replace that or even come close to replacing that in the aggregate. And then if you go out and you look at the trade market, there's not a lot of guys available. Who's an offensive powerhouse the Mavs can swing? I don't know. But again, defensively, you're going to be fucking rock solid. You are. Max Christie's great. It makes me think Quentin Grimes could probably get traded between now and Thursday, or involved in a deal at least. But Ingram doesn't get you... The Mavs are just going to look so fundamentally different than what we've seen them look like. Like they just can't do all of the stuff that they can't do all of the stuff that they were doing previously. You don't need one guy offensive powerhouse. Look how the Celtics won. Yeah, but you need a guy who can right the ship when you need it. The Celtics could put out lineups where 4 guys on the court were like good to great playmakers. The Mavericks aren't going to be able to do that at all. Kyrie's a good playmaker, teetering on great playmaker. I'll even give him that. And then up and down the roster, who else do you have? You know. Now, I will say the Mavericks offense had been clicking a little bit as of late. They had 2 games in a row where they scored 130. 2 games in a row where they shot incredibly well from 3. However, I mean, look at these numbers right here. The Mavs were 12 points per 100 possessions better this year when Luka was on the court. I mean, this game against the Cavs is fucking up their net rating and stuff like that. You know, this game doesn't count. Nobody played. The Detroit game was horrific. Turnovers. You put up 137 against the Pelicans. You put up 130 against the Wizards, who aren't really a basketball team. You put up 121 against the Thunder in a game a couple weeks ago. So you've had some good offensive games recently. But I struggle to see offensively how you're going to make this work. It's going to be a lot of Anthony Davis drawing in double teams and kicking and swinging the ball off of that. Kyrie drawing double teams, kicking and swinging off of that. I do think Kyrie and AD will play off each other pretty well. Obviously, I think Luka and AD would be incredible next to one another, but that's obviously, But I do think Kyrie and AD will play off each other pretty well. I think you could see something similar to what you've seen from time to time, and hopefully we see more of this, which is AD in the post with Kyrie one pass away. Kyrie inbounding the ball or throwing an entry pass to AD and just being one pass away and basically daring the team to double and just forcing that team to make perfect rotations. We saw that where Luka would get an entry pass from Kyrie one pass away, Luka post up and just daring the defender to double team. You'll see that quite a bit. Clay's going to be a lot more important to our offense now. Yeah, and I do think Clay's going to shoot a lot of threes off of AD double teams and stuff like that, and the ball swinging around. They could have traded anyone but Luka for AD, and we would have been happy. Yeah. Thoughts on PJ, AD pick and roll with Kyrie, Clay, and Chrissy spacing the floor? Yeah, I mean, I think that could be an interesting thing as well if you do a big pick and roll pretty much with PJ and Anthony Davis. Now, I do worry about PJ's ability as a ball handler, but if you flipped it and AD's handling the ball, which we've seen like LeBron set screens for AD, so that could be a thing, and PJ operating in the short roll. I do think that's interesting. I think PJ's good enough as a playmaker in the short roll to kick the ball. Is my mic tripping? Move the ball around and hit shooters. I think offensively, you probably have maybe a league average offense now. Maybe. Maybe you have a league average offense with what is an elite defense. Like, no two ways around it. But yeah, the problem is we're going to find ourselves in playoffs. And I mean, assuming they make the playoffs, you're going to find yourself in playoff games where it's Max Christie's going to be needing to knock down a huge three. Quentin Grimes, assuming he's still here, you're going to rely on him to knock down a big three. PJ Washington, who can be a little inconsistent with his jumper. I mean, he's having a fantastic season, but can be a little inconsistent with his jumper. He's going to have to make a huge three. Percentage chance we make another move before the deadline? Man, I don't know, bro. I don't know. Why no mention of Najee? I'm not sure Najee's going to be here. I'm just being straight up honest with you. I'm not sure Najee's going to be here. But Najee as well, yes. You trust Max or Maxie more? Max Christie. In terms of three-point shooting? So here's the thing, too. Max Christie, who admittedly, I'll listen to Lakers fans. I mean, I've watched Lakers games. I've watched Max Christie. I haven't paid too much attention to him, just full transparency. But I'll go off of what Lakers fans are telling me. Max Christie is a more reliable... tweet. Oh my God.
Heard he has been unwilling to me to confirm, but league sources tell me that the San Antonio Spurs are De'Aaron Fox's
I'm the source now. We have a trade, ladies and gentlemen. We have a trade to report, and it does involve the Dallas Mavericks. Will you believe it or not? The Dallas Mavericks have made another trade. The Philadelphia 76ers are trading Caleb Martin to the Dallas Mavericks. Caleb Martin is on his way to the Dallas Mavericks, folks. What is the return? Derek Lively? Kyrie Irving? PJ Washington? Me? Am I involved in the trade? We'll have to wait and see, folks. But, oh, my God, they're playing in Philadelphia right now. Wait, what? They're literally playing in Dallas. Or they're literally playing Philadelphia right now. What's the trade? What's the trade, Shams? Dallas is sending Quentin Grimes and Philadelphia's 2025 second-round pick back to the 76ers for Martin. Oh, no. Grimes. No. Oh, my Quentin Grimes. No. Oh, they're ripping my heart out. They're ripping my fucking heart out. Oh, no. Straight up, I like this trade immediately. Just my initial reactions. I like Quentin Grimes. I like this trade right off the rip. I'm going to tell you that right now. Here's a couple reasons why. Max Christie, and I said this on Twitter, Max Christie absolutely made Quentin Grimes tradable. Max Christie's under contract, a very friendly contract, mind you. I forgot the exact number, but it's a very, very team-friendly deal for Max Christie, whose skill set definitely overlaps with Quentin Grimes. And I do think Christie, and I was just about to say this, so you guys know I'm not bullshitting. I do think Christie's better than Grimes. I don't know how different it is, but Christie $7 million this year, $7 million year after that, $8 million, and then a player option for $8 million. So very, 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 very team-friendly deal there. Keep in mind, Quentin Grimes is a restricted free agent at the end of the season. And the Mavs probably thought, we have Christie here. Like, we don't know what Grimes' market's going to be, you know. There's no real point. Caleb Martin, I think, is a pretty good basketball. Mavs Filmer on Twitter response, LMAO, this is horrible. I mean, it's objectively not. I will say, I'll shit on Nico all you want about some other trades. I don't think this is a shitty trade whatsoever. Caleb Martin, $8 million this year, $8 million year after that, $8 million year after that, $9 million player option. Martin is pretty good basketball. Martin's a pretty good basketball, man. Caleb Martin is 29, 9, 3, and 2. Grimes is 24, 10, 3, and 2. LMAO, dumb trade. I mean, that's one way to look at it. You can also look at it and say, Quentin Grimes is a restricted free agent, and they probably didn't want to pay him, and they have Max Christie now. So let's look at it like this. You feel Max Christie can sort of replace what Quentin Grimes brings to the table, and now you're bringing in Caleb Martin to help you out defensively on the wing. I think Caleb Martin probably isn't as good offensively as Quentin Grimes, but anyways, I think this trade makes a good amount of sense to me. Grimes is a much better three-point shooter than Caleb. Yeah, but again, I think Max Christie just eats into Quentin Grimes minutes. Like, I mean, that's just it. Quentin Grimes minutes get eaten into by Max Christie pretty easily. Grimes' playmaking is much better than Caleb's. A point guard has to be coming right. I don't know about much better. Man, it's going to be hard to recognize some of this team. Yeah, it's. I mean, this is one thing about Nico. He's not afraid nor shy about not afraid nor shy about making trades. So now this does, let's look at it. They brought in Max Christie and said, oh, that eats into Quentin Grimes minutes, so let's make that trade. You bring in Caleb Martin, well, that probably eats into one of your wings minutes. So Najee Marshall for a guard now at this point. I'm honestly not mad at Max Christie pickup. They have 30 guards then. I mean, they have guards on their roster, but how many of the guards are guards that you can actually realistically rely on? That's the thing. Like, yeah, they have Jaden Hardy and they have Spencer Dinwiddie. Sure. But are those guys that you're like super confident in? Caleb Martin hasn't been good since that fluke Miami Heat finals run. No, I mean, Caleb Martin's not a perfect player at all. But I'm looking at this from a team building perspective as well. If you didn't want to match Quentin Grimes or the market got to a point that you were scared of, then you replace him with a guy who's under contract for the next 4 years. And if you maybe want to make a bigger trade in the summer, now you have Caleb Martin's contract. No, I know there's no... I'm seeing that nobody seems happy. Nobody seems happy with this trade. Sixers fans don't seem happy with this trade either. So, straight up downgraded and also gave up a pick. I mean, I think they're pretty close, man. I do. I would say Grimes has definitely been better this season, for sure. But the Mavs got off of a restricted free agent that they maybe didn't know what his market was, nor maybe that comfortable paying him, and got a guy who's on a very, very team-friendly contract. So Tim Hardaway Jr., 3 second-round picks for Caleb Martin. Is that a good trade-off? Well, that's not the best way to look at it because you would also have to add a Najee Marshall to that because getting off Tim Hardaway Jr. helped open up the mid-level exception. So it's Quentin Grimes, or it's Tim Hardaway Jr. and 3 second-round picks for Caleb Martin and Najee Marshall. Is that a good trade-off? Yeah, that's a pretty fucking good trade-off, I would say, actually, all things considered. Back above the tax for 9 points per game, 2 assists, Caleb. How is that any good? I mean, Caleb Martin's still a good defender. And again, is on a very team-friendly deal. And again, I'm telling you guys right now, I was literally in the process of saying it. Max Christie is going to cut into Quentin Grimes' minutes. Max Christie is going to end up playing more than Quentin Grimes. That's it. Sorry, Jake Fisher just said Martin is viewed as negative money. Well, clearly not. Can they continue Marshall? Can they combine Marshall and Grimes in a move this deadline? Who's going to tell him? I would assume they're probably still looking for a guard, yes. Max Christie's not even close to the player Grimes is. That's just objectively false, dude. For what it's worth, the Celtics mutuals on my timeline love Caleb Martin being off the 76ers. Well, yeah, he's a Boston Celtics murderer. It's inexplicable. Martin is mid as fuck, bro. Yeah, I mean, they just traded mid for mid. I mean, Quentin Grimes is like a solid role guy. Yeah, they got him to beat Boston for sure. Grimes was not mid. He was slightly above average when we gave away a second round pick for mid. Okay. I don't know. I don't know. It's just things are in such a bad state. It's just impossible to just talk on here. I don't. If Grimes were on a 4-year deal that was $8 million, $8 million, $8 million, I would fucking despise this trade. I would despise this trade. Yeah, Caleb Martin's been out with a hip injury, but he's been practicing, so he's probably going to come back soon. Grimes is expiring and will ask for a lot in the offseason. But Grimes is 24, guys, not 29. I think that they probably assessed the Grimes market and probably thought, yeah, we're not sure, especially with Max Christie here now. We're not sure we're all that interested in paying Grimes whatever he might command as a restricted free agent. So they turned that into a guy who's a solid role player who's under contract for longer on a team-friendly deal. So we just being cheap? Maybe, but I think there's it's more so, again, Max Christie cuts into Grimes' minutes. Kind of dumb. Grimes is a solid player. I mean, Caleb Martin is a solid player. Cheap. Trading Luka was also a money-saving move, let's be real. I mean, unless I'm missing something, doesn't this trade put them back into the cap, into the tax? They were $6 million under it. I thought they were like 500,000 under it. Are the Mavs going to make any more moves? This can't be the only one they make. I'm sure they'll try to find a guard. Grimes is straight up better. Grimes has had a better season than Caleb Martin for sure. Caleb Martin is among several Philadelphia 76ers who haven't been able to get on the floor lately. Throughout the year, Martin has battled multiple setbacks, with his latest taking him out of the game for a few weeks so far. Just how long will the trend continue? Maybe it ends this week. According to the official NBA injury report, the Sixers upgraded Martin for their Tuesday night matchup against the Dallas Mavericks. While it's not a sure sign he'll play, as Martin has seen his status upgraded during the stretch only to be ruled out, the Sixers can still be hopeful. I'm progressing well, Martin told reporters after a Monday practice session. It's been a little bit longer than anticipated, but it's doing a lot better. I've been just trying to stay on my stuff and progressing each day. So it's definitely getting better. Today was a better day, and I feel like I'm definitely heading towards the right direction for sure. Earlier in the year, Martin's shoulder bothered him to the point where it was hard not to notice. Still, he received a lot of credit for pushing through it during a season when the Sixers have struggled to find consistency in the availability department. The current setback is described as a right hip sprain, according to the injury report. While Martin is typically known to play through injuries, he opted to take a different approach this time around, suggesting he would have been a liability on the court with the lack of mobility. I've typically played through a lot of stuff, and it's just one of those things that I just couldn't. So I'm glad I've been doing rehab and making progress these days, so hopefully I'll be making a return soon. So he has been out, but all signs point to him coming back soon. Mavs now $3.3 million over the tax, but 1.2 under the apron. So they went over the tax to do this, which is interesting, which would probably tell me there's another move coming. I'm hearing no speak of Najee as a guard creator. He's had many great scoring and passing games this season. Najee's better as a secondary creator on the court. Najee being a primary ball handler, I think, leads to problems. Dallas Mavericks for PJ Washington, personal reason, has been downgraded to out versus Philadelphia 76ers. My man PJ is heartbroken. PJ Washington and his wife had a child. Let's congratulations to PJ and his wife. Our average age just got up even. I mean, bro, they've literally told you their window is the next 2 years. So I don't know, guys. The emotions are running so high. Dallas Cato, there is belief, which multiple team league sources expressed to me before this trade, that Harrison does not have a long-term desire to remain in his current role. Oh my God. Would somehow getting Lonzo Ball or CP3 help the offense? Yeah. We're the NBA version of the Rams from a couple years ago. You got on playback tonight? I don't know, bro. I really don't. I really don't know. I'm just like, emotions are running so high that I feel like you can't even talk about things. The Miami Heat were willing to trade Jimmy Butler for Andrew Wiggins and draft picks before Butler shut the deal down. That would have been a pretty good deal, I think, for the Heat, all things considered. 37th pick. What the fuck were we thinking? I just don't get how we're the ones who added the pick. See Markieff Morris comments on the Luka trade disrespect. No, I didn't. I'm honestly think I'm gonna end the stream today. Nico here just to destroy the Mavs. Yeah. People are getting mad at second round picks. What a timeline I live in. People are mad at everything. There's no that you can't talk about anything. It's over. It's done. Like I don't. It's just. People are mad, like absolutely, and it's completely and totally understandable. Don't get me wrong, but would you like to see the Mavs move in the margins? Maybe Sexton? Yeah, sure. Sure. Yeah, I remember Brunson and Luka. You see Bill Simmons' tweet? God, this shit's crazy, bro. I mean, this trade to me makes sense from the angle of Max Christie is going to take Quentin Grimes minutes. This from Michael Scotto. The addition of Max Christie is noteworthy given the Mavs and Quentin Grimes were apart during extension talks before the season. So Grimes, who they didn't know if they were going to pay in the offseason. I mean, I'm just looking at it from their perspective. Gets moved in a deal that has a guy who's under contract, is a little bit bigger, can probably guard a position up from Quentin Grimes, and gives them a little bit more positional versatility on the court. Do you like Quentin Grimes next to Maxey more than Martin? Yeah, Quentin Grimes would be nice in Philly, I think. Luke is now the face of the league at LA. He's going to be up there as face of the league for sure. I mean, I don't think this is a terrible trade at all. So I think the Mavs can beat OKC in a playoff series. They need a fucking guard, man. I know Grimes was restricted. I get that. Did you mock Caleb as a trade? Did you mock Caleb in a trade this prediction season? No, I don't think I did. You've all at the 5. Latest trade was good. Grimes is going to big pay in the summer. Think they'll go Ingram for PJ and Gaff? Hell no. I think Najee's probably on the block. If they were to get a guard, I would say Najeeh Marshall is gone. Like, that's what I would say. Don't worry, Sly Bias. People are mad at giving up trades for PJ too. I would say Amanda quickly plus Pirtle for D-Live. I mean, there's a salary cap that exists. Najeeh for Schroeder in a 3-team trade when the Warriors finally find their guy. That's interesting. I mean, that wouldn't That wouldn't make me feel great. I think I would rather go for a guy who's under contract. I mean, Ben Simmons as a buyout guy, you could do worse. I don't know if he fits this Mavericks team at all, but so unless I'm wrong, I do not think the Mavericks have a single second round pick anymore. Aren't you glad you don't have to read about anymore? Maxi Kleba says that he'll be reevaluated in 8 weeks, which will determine if he'll be able to return this season. Yeah, I mean, the Maxi being somebody that you heavily relied on this team had reached its end point. Why the delusion in this chat with people thinking the Mavericks are going to make a run in the playoffs this year is fucking hysterical. I mean, can you point me to where the fuck you're seeing that? Like, did you see one person in the chat say that? We must be reading different chats. So that second round pick is probably 30s this year. It's not a bad pick. No, it's not a bad pick. But, I mean, I'm telling you, these LA people are delusional. What a bunch of degenerates. Martin's been out for a while, but it sounds like he'll be back very soon. The Mavs aren't trading PJ. He's one of Nico Harrison's guy. I'd be shocked. I'd be shocked if PJ Washington gets traded. Do you think we could get a top 10 pick this year? No. PJ gets traded. I'm sorry, slightly. I'm gone. PJ getting moved would just be fucking flabbergasting. I would be flabbergasted. I can't imagine the vibes in the locker room is good. I just can't. I mean, trading away Luka out of nowhere. Quentin Grimes, who seemed like a pretty good vibes guy, traded out of nowhere to the other team that you're playing tonight. Guys, PJ Washington's out because his wife had a child. They had a child, okay? Like, we know that for sure. Love idiots trying to justify Martin for Grimes. What does your chat log look like? Held for review. Okay, let's see. Whoever said that Grimes was too inconsistent. So you're just not going to address the fact that Luka looks thin and there's no fucking way the planet he's 270 pounds right now. Nick is a lying piece of shit. Who's Nick? Mavericks trying to make the play-in tournament. So how does this work if they in the same arena? Do the Grimes go play with the Sixers today? Yeah, I don't know. If Grimes plays tonight, that would be kind of interesting. I mean, he might though, right? Right? Like Grimes probably plays tonight. He can't play without a physical. Yeah, but they can get that done pretty quick, can't they? Keegan with the 199. Lively plus PJ plus first for Kuzma. He's a Nico guy. I would not rule out the Kuzma thing still. I wouldn't rule out the Kuzma thing. I have no fucking clue. I wouldn't rule out anyone. He don't make sense for the timeline. Who doesn't? Lively? Oh my God. Lively's not getting traded, surely. Imagine we get Kuzma. I will hate myself. Lively's not getting traded. I think he's actually like a key piece for the future. But I mean, obviously I thought Luka was a key piece for the future. So who the fuck knows? Nick's take What do you think about the Mavs trade for Caleb Martin? I'm not sure the Mavs get better here. Will be fun to watch y'all discuss it. I mean, I don't know if it moves the needle for them at all. I think it gives them a guy who can play up a position from Quentin Grimes. They probably think Max Christie is going to give us better minutes than Quentin Grimes would have, or at least very similar minutes. So now we just have two redundant players on our roster, and Quentin Grimes is a free agent in the summer, and we don't know how that's going to play out, and we just would rather not even go there, and we'd rather just get the guy who's under contract for 4 years. So that makes sense to me. Like that, all that makes sense to me. That this trade actually makes sense to me. If this trade happened without the Luka trade, I think the reception around it would be 10 times different, obviously. I'm not sure, did the Mavs have to include a pick in this? I don't know. I guess every team in the league knows you can just ask Nico for a second round pick and he'll say yes. I guess that's where we're at. I guess that's just where they're at. Yeah, Caleb Martin, like the 2023 playoffs was a dream run, and that was really against the Celtics. Like, yeah, Nico might give me a second round pick. They gave up a second round pick in the KP trade for no reason whatsoever. Gave up a second round pick in the Luka trade somehow. Like, how the fuck did that happen? I'm not sure how you have to give up a second round pick in this trade. I'm not sure. We'll see. Pelinka convinced Nico that Luka wasn't worth anything. Don't be surprised if other GMs try to manipulate him now. Second round picks are meaningless, though. I think in the grand scheme of things, people overreact to second round picks. Max Christie better be playing well. This just put a lot of pressure on Max Christie. And I'm going to be real. I'm not sure. I'm not sure Caleb Martin is safe here necessarily. You'd rather have more wings than guards. That's the reality. You'd rather have more wings than guards, and they just got Christie, who again it's redundant with Quentin Grimes. In NBA, only front office, Denver Nuggets doing nothing. Yeah. I think they're using Martin for larger trade. I have no fucking clue. I mean, I genuinely have no idea. I was on the phone for 30 minutes with I won't say who, and what they told me is funny if true. Well, you have to expand on that, V-Lone. I mean, you can't just come in here and say that. That protected 2029 first we sent for Charlotte for PJ looking real nice. Yeah. They're not trading Lively, guys. Actually, I don't know. I really don't know. Yeah, the AI video of kid choking out Nico is fucking funny. I usually think all of those AI videos are trash. That one's pretty funny. That one's honestly pretty funny. Don't think we trade Gafford for a secondary ball handler besides Kai. I don't think that's impossible. I don't think that's impossible. Remember when you said 2011 trade deadline was the most insane ever? I've got news for you. No, I didn't say 2011. I said 2015 was the most insane trade deadline at the time, but then that got surpassed by 2022's or 2023's trade deadline, which saw KD and Kyrie getting traded. But this one's going to be up there. I mean, this one already is the most insane trade deadline we've ever seen. Lonzo, another trade? Are you guys just fucking around? You guys are just fucking around. I don't see that anywhere. Thanks, Life, for giving us a place to grieve. I don't know. I've done nothing but taking Mavs content since the trade. The pain will be internal, but I'm not jumping ship. Reeves for Gafford trade? No. Caleb Martin has not played since January 10th due to hip and groin injuries, not beating the hospital allegations. Let's see what else is coming. Do you think Najee can be developed into a good enough ball handler to play secondary to Kai? No. Jaden Hardy can. Oh my God. What is my life? What is my sports life? What is my sporting life? What is my sports life? Yeah, they're fucking around about Lonzo. That was a pretty good one, though. I mean, that was a pretty well coordinated attack there. It got me a little bit. So let me explain. Let me explain right now. The Luka trade's the Luka trade's terrible. I mean, understand this. So I agree there, right? But if I'm taking the emotions of the Luka trade out, and then I look at this deal, I don't think this is a bad trade. I really don't. I mean, is Quentin Grimes having a better season than Caleb Martin? Absolutely, yes. Absolutely, yes. And I think Quentin Grimes has more juice than Caleb Martin. Max Christie's 21 years old, I believe. And again, on an incredibly team-friendly deal. And absolutely, a huge, massive redundancy next to Quentin Grimes. Right? They're about to turn 22. But Quentin Grimes and Christie are pretty similar. Pretty similar in that they both show flashes here and there offensively. The three-point shooting can be a little bit, shaky. Defensively, just from the tiny bits I've seen and from what I've heard from Lakers fans and what people have told me, I do think Christie's probably better defensively than Quentin Grimes. In fact, I would say he's almost certainly better defensively because I think he can guard up in a way that Quentin Grimes can't. So that helps you out there pretty. That helps you out there pretty substantially. And if you feel like Quentin Grimes is now kind of redundant, we like Max Christie. Max Christie's under a very, 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 very team-friendly deal for the next 4 seasons. Grimes is a restricted free agent in the summer. Let's see what's out there on the market for him. Oh, we can get Caleb Martin, who's more of a wing and can also guard up defensively and is somebody who's been very good in the playoffs. We know that for certain. Somebody who has some playmaking chops, but very inconsistent with his 3-ball and just inconsistent in general. But a dirty work wing, where you generally cannot have too many dirty work wings. So we make that deal, and Caleb Martin's under contract for the next 4 years. 3 after that. $8 million, $8 million, $9 million. I get it. Like, I get that trade. That trade makes sense to me. Like, this trade actually makes sense to me. Would Maverick fans be happy if it were just Grimes and Luka and draft assets swapping for Christie and Martin? I guarantee you we'd be calling Nico Harrison the GOAT GM online. Well, yeah, but I mean, that's not what happened. It's all theoretical because we don't know how this Mavs team now looks on the court, so it's all whatever. Yeah, I mean, everything. The moment you react to a trade, it's all just... Y'all trying to be the 2004 Pistons, it feels. Yeah, they're really going for defense. Mavs gave up the 38th pick today. The Sixers have been playing better. Embiid's going to be back at the end of the week. Like, they're trying to make the play-in tournament and hopefully make the playoffs. I don't care what the Mavs do. They could trade for Giannis, and I'll still be so sad that I cannot bring myself to stop boycotting them. It's fair. I think they probably have to get a guard. I think they have to between now and the deadline. And I think now Najee's on the table, right? I mean, he has to be. He has to be. I mean, Kobe White, Lonzo, Jordan Poole. Jesus, can you fucking imagine? Can you fucking imagine? Can you fucking imagine Jordan Poole, man? The reaction to Jordan Poole getting traded to the Mavs, who's making what, $30 million? I mean, let's just play a fun little game. Let's just play a fun little game, man. So one thing I've noticed is Nico Harrison doesn't give a flying fuck about fans or the emotions that go with basketball. He doesn't care at all. I mean, he's trading any and everybody. Like, there's no point in getting... This is one of the shit that really sucks from a fan's perspective. There's no point in getting connected to any of these guys. Dwight Powell is the only guy who remains on this roster from 2 years ago, before the Kyrie trade. That's it. Like, it's just... Best defensive three-point percentage. I've said this a million times. I don't give a single shit about the stats like that. I don't care about defensive field goal percentage. It's a stupid fucking stat. It's a stupid stat. KOCO Jason Gallagher did a fun exercise pretending to be Nico and proposed PJ, Gaff, and Najee plus picks for Zion. An all-time hypocritical trade. Could CJ be an option? Contractually, it's hard, but I mean, he makes around the same as Jordan Poole. So let's see. Like, this is just funny as fuck. Like, think about, they already got Caleb Martin on here. Think about how nightmarish the scenario would have to be. Well, $30 million. I mean, this would probably have to be close to your starting point, and then I think you'd have to, I mean, I guess just include Exum. And even then, I don't know if this really works, because then you'd have a roster spot. So you'd have to get a minimum guy back in return. Patrick Baldwin Jr. Come on down. Oh, wait, you can't even fucking do that. I mean, like, this would have to be the most disgusting ass trade ever. The repercussions and consequences of this Luka trade will still affect the Mavs 20 years from now at minimum. It's possible. If the Kings are truly selling, should the Mavs target Malik Monk? I mean, Monk would be cool, but the Kings are not selling. My absolute dream target for the Mavs is Luka Doncic. I really believe we can go out and get him. That would be great. Jesus, man. What about Jimmy? I mean, I don't know how the hell the Jimmy trade works now. I mean, this is the biggest heat check we've ever seen from a front office, I think, right? Just the biggest heat check we've seen. Hey, last trade deadline, I predicted Caleb Martin to be traded to the Mavs, actually. So I'm always right, just a little bit early. Mavericks team identity, size. The more size to throw at Jokic in Minnesota and the Suns and LA and the Clippers, the better. A lot of long-term risk, but the team is quite good right now. I'm telling you, I think this Grimes trade makes sense. Nico playing Euro Life 2K. Yeah. Main go with the $2 person. I think Gaff greater than Lively and Sexton equals perfect. I mean, I don't think Gafford's better than Lively. Gafford's been great, though. Norman Powell's not getting traded. Gary Payton II does not move me at this juncture. Gafford a demon. That's why he's going to the Nuggets. I don't care how much. Terry Rozier. Fuck it. Sure. I mean, I've thought about Anthony Simons more. I don't know what trade makes sense for the Mavs or for the Trailblazers side of things, because it's $25 million. So the Mavs would have to give up some pretty important shit here to make this happen. And then I think about the contracts they'd have to use to get there, and I'm not sure why Portland would entertain that, really. So I said, one thing I did say was they're not trading Clay because the business side of it, the relationship side of it, there's just so much shit involved that, that would just be such a bad look. Now they don't give a, they clearly don't give a fuck about anything like that. So Clay, I think, is probably an option to get traded. I mean, if you're in that locker room, I don't know how I don't know how you operate. Bogdanović is one that I kind of thought about, a guard with some playmaking chops and self-creation chops and can definitely shoot the lights out. The problem is he's had a terrible season. And again, you kind of circle back to the guys you give up is a little bit weird. And he's having such a bad season this year that I'd be really hesitant to do that. But he fits the new timeline. He does fit the new timeline. Middleton's making too much money for a trade to make sense. Kobe White for Gaff works. So I'm not sure why the Bulls would do that. Unless they trade, I mean, even if they trade Vucevic, I'm just not quite sure why they would do that. It would have to be, I mean, you can make a Kobe White trade work actually kind of easily. Najee and Exum or something. Najee and Dwight Powell. If you really just want to go there, Najee and Dwight Powell, I think, makes this work contractually. You've got 3 first-round picks that you can move off of now. Why don't they have the Lakers 2029 pick here? That could be interesting. Bobby Portis? No. Yeah, the Utah guards are definitely a possibility, I would say. Because it's protected? Really? Did they protect that 2029 pick? If Luka managed to come back someday and win a championship, would that be greater redemption story than Dirk or not quite? So here's one thing that I'll say. Is all the people I've seen that are like, it wouldn't feel the same if they win a championship, blah, blah, blah. Which I agree. It would not feel anywhere near the same with Luka. But here's the thing is when you go on a playoff run, we saw this last year. You had so many different great moments. The PJ standing on business. Like you go on a playoff run, crazy things happen. Crazy stories happen. Crazy memories happen. If they do win a championship, you'd have so many memories tied to that run that, it would be worth it. It would feel great. Yeah. It's not like they would just walk out in the court like this, then walk off the court and there'd just be nothing to remember. He was homegrown. That's why it hurts. I mean, absolutely it hurts, man. Absolutely. I mean, you've got the Jazz guards, Colin Sexton, $18 million, Jordan Clarkson, $14 million. You can get to there contractually. The $14 million, the guys in this range now become a lot more interesting to me because now if I'm Najee Marshall, I'm not sleeping well at night over the next 2 days. That much is certain. You cannot, if the Mavs were to move Caleb Martin, you can't aggregate his contract anymore. In an alternate universe, would you feel the same about the Mavs 2011 title if it was KD coming to town for Dirk? Oh, of course not. I mean, I would still cherish that championship, though. But of course, I wouldn't have felt the same. No, I agree that I wouldn't have felt the same. Like, that much I agree with. Cam Thomas, why not? Nico was so disgusted about Mavs making the finals. He said, watch this. So, I mean, the Mavs don't make this trade unless Max Christie's here. I want you guys to know that. I don't think they do a Quentin Grimes. I don't think they say Caleb Martin's better than Quentin Grimes, and we're going to bring him in to do similar stuff. They only make this trade because they have Max Christie now. That is it, okay? Malcolm Brogdon trade, gross. I'm not going to lie to you. I like the idea of going after an Anthony Simons. And from what I was researching in like my trade deadline preview thing, whatever, was that the cost for him might not be high. Now, the Trailblazers have been hooping lately. But the cost for him might not be high. The only problem is defensively you'd have a problem. A Kyrie, Anthony Simons backcourt defensively would be a problem. But also, I just getting there contractually is really fucking hard. Really hard. It's just really hard. Don't you think this team is becoming more and more kids Bucks? Yeah, Anthony Simons is one of the better pick and roll guards in the league. I like Sexton way more. He has great energy. Sexton is a possibility. Brogdon would suck. Cole Anthony, I've never. Cole Anthony's name gets brought up all the time. I've never really been in on it, but I mean, I guess. MFFL Nation. Marcus Smart's absolutely possible. I was thinking that. So much so that I was researching, like, the Marcus Smart. This? I already know this. Suggs, not happening. Simons wouldn't fit their defense wins championships. Yeah, that would be a tough sell right there. Hey, we traded Luka because defense wins championships. Here's Anthony Simons. There's been belief, which multiple teams in league sources expressed to me long before this trade, that Harrison does not have a long-term desire to remain in his current role as GM. I saw that. Harden's not available for a trade, man. Do you know what's been going on with the Magic lately? They crumbling? Yeah, they suck offensively, which I would like take a small little victory lap over this. Now's not the time because people shitted all over me for saying I think Jason Kidd's a fine head coach. And then people said, what about Jamal Mosley, what he's doing on the Magic? And I was like, the Magic aren't that good. Like, the Magic are terrible offensively. So, I love Jamal Mosley, but there's no point in even doing this. Ozzy with the $4.99 as a Mavs fan in Houston. Harden was probably at the strip club every game and they kept him until he no longer put up MVP numbers. Yeah. You think you're in a big game of a playoff series? Kyrie picks up a fourth foul in the last 2 minutes of the second quarter. What do the Mavs do offense while he sits for a prolonged time? Yeah, that's the big time problem here. Or even when Kyrie goes to the bench, what is your offense going to be? Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a lot of fucking Spencer Dinwiddie unless they make a trade. Oh my God. You feed AD? Yeah, I know, but God, the Mavs have such a hard time making fucking entry passes. Why would the Kings trade Keon Ellis? Yeah, I have no clue. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what's next. I have no idea. I don't fucking know. I really don't. I have no idea. No idea whatsoever what this team's going to do. None. How the fuck could you? It's impossible. It's impossible to predict. They could be done. This could be it for them. And they sort of maybe check the buyout market or something for a guard. Them being over the luxury tax now is interesting to me. Because I partially feel like they might try to get under that. Which I don't know what that would look like. Take a gamble on Terry Rozier, no pun intended. Dude, that would suck. I'm sorry. I like Terry Rozier in Charlotte. It was a fun player on a shit ass team scenario, but I have no desire for that. Use your contacts and find out. You want me to? I'll text right now. I'll text around. I'll ask around. Shams bomb?
Heard. He has been unwilling to me to confirm, but league sources tell me that the San Antonio Spurs are De'Aaron Fox's preferred.
I'm the source now. Ban whoever said that. You think Butler gets dealt? I have no fucking clue. Sorry, man. I see no one here believes last year I sent you a message when you were in distress, when we were losing. The Rockets have no chance. You watched last year games, who's in the bag and who is carrying. You plan to do a chat on trade deadline day? Oh, yeah. I'll be live at 8 a.m. And it'll be live all day. I'm sure it's going to be a great experience for me. Can't wait. Can't wait. Can't wait. Scary we haven't heard from Kyrie. I mean, he's at shoot around and stuff. Najee. Brandon Ingram. Oh, man, alive. I mean, what really sucks, this is what sucks from a fan's perspective, is this team is just so, I mean, the roster turnover is crazy, man. You can't get attached to any of these guys. You just can't. That takes away, like, the best part of being a fan of a sports team. Isn't that not nuts? Like, I think this is a psychotic GM at a level, the likes of which I don't know how often we've seen. I don't know how often we've seen a psychotic GM like this. No emotions. No emotions. Cutting the plug on anyone. Like, I don't know if we've ever seen that. This is a historic heat check. Historic heat check from a GM who said, yo, I made the finals. Look at the moves I made along the way. I'm training Luka. I don't give a fuck. Like, what the fuck? Literally, Dwight Powell is the only guy who's on this roster from opening night of 2023. Doug, that's 2 years ago. Opening night 2022-2023 season. He's the only player left. That's not even that fucking long ago. You realize how crazy that shit is, man? Oh, Hardy. Hardy was there as well. Hardy was there and Dinwiddie was technically there. But Dinwiddie left and then came back. Hardy and Hardy and Dwight Powell. A rookie Jaden Hardy. Do the Suns roster? Off the top of my head. Off the top of my head, it might just be Book. We've done that before as well. It might just be Book off the top of my head, right? Book. Damian Lee, right? I think Damian Lee was on their opening night roster that season because he hit a game winner against the Mavs on opening night. 2020, 2022, 2023. Opening night of 2022. Jesus, I mean that's it as well. Was Grayson Allen there yet? No, Grayson Allen was part of the Nurkic trade, wasn't he? I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. You don't want to like. We laugh at these teams because this shit's not like that's not how you win. It's not how you win. D-By Nico forced out, didn't bring back guys like Jalen Brunson, Casey Smith, Igor, etc. to force Luka to be the bad guy and force his way out. I don't know. It's definitely possible. It's definitely possible that Luka, that Nico was kind of prodding Luka and wanted to trade him and maybe sabotaged him along the way. How do you feel about Gaff, Hardy, Clay, Najee, and 3 firsts for KD? Why the fuck not, man? Seriously, why not? Why the fuck not, man? Sure. Sure. What the hell is your team? Like, what is your team? What is your team in that trade? Is that even possible? I know financially it's possible, but the Mavs would have to what? Like make it'd have to be a 3-team trade where the Mavs get someone. And what's crazy is if the Suns are trading KD, but they're still trying to be competitive, I think that's a deal they really do consider. My God, 51 mil. What was it again? I mean, how do you get there? All right, gotta have Clay, gotta have PJ, and you still have to make up 19 mil. So Gafford and Najee, and that still isn't enough. No, so not Najee. How does this work? Yeah, it would have to be a 3-teamer. I mean, dude, if I'm the Suns, I'm getting like 3 real legitimate rotation players here. Maybe even 4. So what? Your team would be what? Kyrie, Christie, KD, Caleb Martin, Anthony Davis, and then who is playing? Who's coming off the bench? Like, okay, hey, that's a good starting 5, right? That is a great starting 5 actually. Kyrie, Christie, Caleb Martin. Caleb Martin, KD, and AD. All right, hey, you know what? That's actually a championship level starting 5. That is a championship level starting 5. Oh, and then Lively's back for the playoffs. Kyrie, Max Christie, Durant, AD, Lively. Oh, okay. All right. Who's coming off the motherfucking bench for you? Spencer Dinwiddie, Caleb Martin, Dwight Powell, Max, Exum. You've got no wings coming off the bench. Kessler Edwards. Yeah, Kyler Kelly's going to be getting minutes. Hardy. Yo, I'm not gonna lie, that team's kind of nasty though. Like that starting five is disgusting, bro. That starting five is gross in a good way. And you just say, this is it. This is it. Like, this is our team. You have to win between now and the next 3 years. And that's it. Why are we even speculating KD right now? You have to put yourself in the mind of the most psychotic GM we've seen in quite some time. Isn't it a 3-year window when Nico backed himself into a corner with the first round picks? Yeah, I mean, yeah. Any trade is possible now, absolutely. I mean, I'm trying to think. Like, let's brainstorm. Let's brainstorm a 5-team trade or a 3-team trade that could make this work. Where the Mavs would have to also get something out. Like KD, and then can we find another role player somewhere out there? Like, could we tack on... All right, what are the Pistons up to? What are the Pistons up to? Kevin Durant goes to Dallas. It's so fun. You know what's funny is this is so fucking dumb. This is so dumb. And I would say there's a 0% chance this shit in any universe happens. But you know what? It might in this universe. It might in this fucked up universe that we currently find ourselves in. Anything's possible now, bro. I mean, anything is possible, bro. KD's hold on a second. Let's look. Kevin Durant, Nico Harrison relationship. All of these are just from the last few days about the trade. I need something that goes beyond that. Can I... Nico Harrison on his relationship with Kobe Bryant while working for Nike actually didn't trust me at first. This article popped up. Is Durant in here? No. Thank you for this fucking article popping up. I mean, I feel like they had to have some type of relationship, being that he's at Nike. Yeah, we need to figure out, like, it would be great if someone could compile a list or something of all the guys that Nico Harrison is friendly with. So Kevin Durant to Dallas. It's so fucking stupid. Clay, PJ, holy shit. Gafford, and Najee to Detroit. What else could the Mavs, like... Is there something like what is Fontecchio? What is he worth on the market? I don't really know. Fontecchio to Dallas. Phoenix is a sin receives something from Detroit. How about a second to make it happen? Send to Detroit. This trade currently fails. Why is that? The Mavs would need to shed $4 million. Mavs are trading 4 guys and getting 2 back. I don't think they could trade another. So let's just get rid of the Fontecchio piece. Okay, this still works. Because the Pistons have cap space. But I think they would want a guy. Is the problem is I think they would want another guy. So maybe you add a 4th team. You have 2 more exactly. You have 2 more players. And how do you get there? How do you get there? Because financially, I think you'd be fucked. I don't think you could even sign mid-level or league minimum guys. So maybe you get a league minimum guy here. Jesus Christ. Need to take a Suns minimum? No, I don't think the Suns could even do that. The Suns can't aggregate contracts, so the Suns couldn't do that. Because how much over the second apron are the Suns? The Suns could do it if it got them under the second apron. But aren't they like tens of millions over it? 10 million over? So they could just oh my God, Nurkic is 18 mil, bro. What a fucking shit show. I was gonna say maybe you pawn off Nurkic to. This isn't happening. This is not. I'm telling you right now, and I can say this with absolute confidence. You can clip me if you want. This is not a KD to the Mavs trade. 0% chance. It's not happening. Absolutely not happening. Paul with the $4.99. Thankful for you, Silent Bias. You've been a safe space for all of us during the overnight hostile takeover, evil supervillain ego trip of our beautiful team. What about Brandon Ingram? Ugh, I don't want that, dude. I think you would, in a hypothetical scenario where the psychopath GM says our window is right now, like we can't fuck around anymore. Kevin Durant makes at least some sense in my brain. Some sense. That makes some sense. Stein? The Bulls have received trade interest in Lonzo Ball all season, but sources tell Steinline that they have not been eager to trade him and are resistant to buying Ball out if he remains a Bull past the Thursday deadline. Okay. Raptors, Najee, Mavs, KD, Suns, Clay, Gaff, PJ, and Abaji, then whatever picks. The Mavs would have to get something back, though. Like, they would have to. They would have 11 guys on their roster. Beal fits our timeline? Yeah, dude, fuck it. Sure. Beal, I mean, who else? Nurkic? Like, let's just run 3 centers. Sent you something on Twitter DMs. If they trade for Kuzma, bro, I'm going to fucking lose it. NBA insider praises Mark Cuban on Jason Kidd and Nico Harrison hires 4 years ago. I mean, dude, they made 2 conference finals in the NBA finals. Like, I don't... Was that worth potentially taking the franchise forever? Probably not, no. Because of Luka? Well, the conference finals, yeah, I would say because of Luka. The conference finals one, I can pass off as kind of fluky. And a lot of the pieces that got you there were already there. Now, and I think I want to say, it was a great run. I think Nico lucked out a little bit by Spencer Dinwiddie doing what he did in the playoffs. But the Mavs, the finals run last year was a really well put together team. They made the swing for Kyrie Irving and it paid off dividends, right? They drafted Lively, fantastic pick. Kind of fell into your lap, but still, you made the trade. And then you made a smart draft day trade as well to move down in the process. Then you also made a smart draft day trade that night to move back into the first round to take Omax, who hasn't really panned out, but that's still a great process right there. And then deadline moves. PJ and Gafford were fucking home runs. And yeah, you got lucky on Kuzma. A lot of it's luck. I mean, a lot of this shit's luck. The Lakers are the luckiest team there fucking is. You have Rob Pelinka as flowers? No. No. Absolutely not. Their team sucks. Their team sucks. They're in Los Angeles. They're the Lakers. No matter what, people want to go there. That's it. I mean, they have everything besides the center now. The Lakers, shooting is an issue for them. Perimeter defense is a major issue for them. I don't think this Lakers team is very good. Now, if they made it, if they got I saw Nick Claxton floating around. Okay, that's interesting. If they could swing, a real game-changing center that does change things for them, but I don't know if that's available. They've got Connect, and they got Reeves to shoot. Luka obviously is 10 3-point attempts on his own, but if they get Claxton plus a good 3-and-D wing, it's over. Yeah, but that feels impossible, but I don't know. Ozzy with the 199, most plausible Luka trade conspiracy. There's not a conspiracy. There's not a conspiracy, man. Dude, what the fuck is this website, bro? So when you look at the generational talent of Luka Doncic, potentially and what could be in the coming years in free agency, I'm wondering if this is one of the main reasons for bringing in a Jason Kidd versus someone else, that potentially we could see a Kevin Durant opted out of Brooklyn Nets if they win the NBA championship next year and entertain Dallas, Texas, knowing he played for Texas back in 2007. That's it, though? There's no, talk about their relationships. Man, this was 4 years ago. You're saying there was no backroom dealing going on? I really don't think so. Why are you taking up for Nico now? How am I taking up for Nico, guys? Please tell me. I'd love to know. I would love to know. So you don't believe in the whole Vegas Mavs thing? No, not at all. I don't believe in that one bit. Even looking to press this a trade? I know. I mean, I know. Well, from Luka hater to Nico defender in delusional fans' eyes. Yeah, I mean, it's just... Paul with the 499. Pelinka's an idiot savant who has failed over and over again. Lakers, the trust fund kid who succeeds no matter what because the rich always get richer. Yeah, I mean, there's always going to be someone who wants to play with the Lakers. Look how fucking bad they were the last bit of Kobe's career. But guess what? It didn't matter because LeBron wanted to play there. That's it. LeBron wanted to go there. Problem solved. AD wanted to go there because clutch sports. Problem solved. Championship, here we come. Because guess what? You have those two guys, now everyone wants to go there, right? Then, you know, your teams aren't bad. Like, the Lakers haven't been terrible, but their rosters aren't great. You know, they've let some guys go they probably shouldn't have let go, KCP being one of them. They made trades that were completely and totally inexcusable. The Russell Westbrook trade, which LeBron James forced, basically. Then they traded away Russell Westbrook, brought in D'Lo in a trade, which I'm still to this day confused. Maybe there's reporting why they couldn't have gotten Mike Conley in that trade instead, which just made way more fucking sense. And now, you have a GM who's just on an insane power trip and wants Anthony Davis so bad that he trades you Luka Doncic. This move literally so the GM could get credit for something. He's a closeted DEI snake. Fuck you, Nico. What does DEI have to do with this? Because he's black? Like, is that why we're saying DEI? I don't really get it. Yeah, I know. Just DEI everything, huh? I'm going to start saying DEI after every loss. Man, this was a DEI-ass loss. Don't you think that if their timeline is 3 to 4 years, they aren't willing to trade injury-prone Lively? And Derek Lively is not safe, bro. If Luka Doncic gets traded, how can you call anyone on the team safe? Like, none of them are safe. None of them are safe, bro. Not a single player on the roster is safe. Anthony Davis might be safe. You know what? I'll say this. Anthony Davis, PJ Washington, Kyrie Irving, probably safe. All Nico's guys. PJ Washington gets traded. That would be really, really shocking. That's it. Anyone else probably can go. Is this where the Lively Diva turn starts? Maybe. So the Slightly GM series we did over the summer, Derek Lively was a diva. Grace with the 199. Did you see the Cato report? I just joined. Sorry. The one that said that Nico might not want to be here next year or doesn't want to be here long term or whatever. No, Slightly GM was we're keeping Luka no matter what for the remainder of his career, and that's what we did. And how many rings did we win? Do you ever consider not supporting the Mavs anymore, like Gallagher and SJ? I'm kind of with them. This was too much of a betrayal and a disrespect to us. I'll still watch and root for the team. This is the team that have too many shared experiences with. And even trading Luka, it's like, well, that one stings so bad. But, you know, I have shared experiences with Lively that I have a vested interest in rooting for him. Kyrie, PJ. I still like those guys a lot, and we'll root for them. They're my favorite players in the league because I've watched them every game. Did I see the Chris Gristle report? Bro, who's Chris Gristle? Who's Chris Gristle? Who's Chris Gristle, bro? Oh. Paul with the $9.99. The biggest hit that our reputation has been permanently tainted because even after Nico's gone, we'll always be the team that traded Luka. We never had a shot at a marquee free agent, but now it's impossible. The Doug McCrustable report? Yeah, I saw that. That was shocking. The most alarming thing is it seems less and less like there's a grand plan. No way you don't know Chris Gristle. I don't know who Chris Gristle is, bro. Shout out to Chris Gristle. That's not true. We have a shot at a marquee free agent if Nico knew them 10 years ago. That's true. Paul with the $2. Nico hates the casino owners, and this is his revenge. And Nico's on one of the biggest power trips we've ever seen a fucking general manager have. One of the biggest heat checks we've ever seen. Dallas Mavericks are willing to refund tickets now. I think you could always request that. I could be wrong. I will say this. I may not watch a lot of Mavs after this, but I'll still watch your content and interactive live streams. Thank you very much, Nick. The Dallas Mavericks have offered refunds. I saw that. Not gonna lie, if they win it this year, I look at them completely different. Would be hype. Look, if this team, which I don't think they are competitive enough to win a championship, just on paper, but if they do, win a ring in the next 2 years, he looks like a mad genius. Like obviously, you could still call the trade a loss, especially if Luka goes on to do great things with the Lakers. You could call the trade a loss still, and it'd probably still be right. But Nico, you would have to say, I mean, Nico, I mean, fuck, it worked. Like it did. Like the goal is to win a championship. Why do you think they aren't competitive enough? The Mavs, I don't think they have enough offense. Their defense is going to be really good. They don't have enough offense. What do you think about the matchup against OKC now? Is losing so much self-creation in order to gain size on them really a net positive for this Dallas team? I mean, AD Gafford, AD Lively front court's going to give the Thunder some decent amount of problems. But the thing is, the Mavs will probably turn the ball over 35 fucking times in that game. So that's what I have a concern about. Now, of course, the Mavs are 3-1 against the Thunder this year. And interestingly enough, all 3 of those wins were in the games that Luka missed. So, you know, but also granted, I think in those 3 wins, Chet obviously didn't play in any of those. And Hartenstein, I think, missed 2 of them. So I don't know what you can really take away from that. Streaming the Lakers on playback is definitely a possibility. How do you feel about Cato's comments of Nico not being committed to staying his role as GM? I've already touched on this, but I don't know. I don't know what that means. I don't know who's saying that. I don't know. What is with the Kirk Mavs CBA being so over the moon about the Mavs being irredeemable? I'm not gonna lie. I had to mute some accounts, just for the time being. Just as I say, you know what, I'm still gonna be you know, rooting for the team. So I think I just have to mute some accounts. And I'm not saying they're wrong. I'm not saying anything. It's just. Will you be interested to see if you get more views on Mavs games or Lakers games? It'll be Mavs games, if I had to guess. Oh, I mean, there's nothing wrong with being a fucking doomer. Like, this shit's doom and gloom. Okay? Now at the $5, the only way to make a run is to trade for Trey or LaMelo. Besides that, just blow this shit up and let's go get Boozer next year. Would you be muting the accounts if Luka didn't get traded? No. Another Stein tweet. So I saw this and I had an opinion on it. Dallas remains hopeful Anthony Davis abdomen can make his debut Thursday in Boston, but also concedes that it may have to wait for Saturday against Houston. The Lakers, meanwhile, have waited Saturday's matinee against Indiana for Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic's debut. That's not that much of a surprise because that's kind of when Nick and I theorized Luke would come back. So that's not really that much of a surprise. Carlos Boozer at the 4 next to AD would be sick. Oh, yeah. If the Mavs have watched if the Lakers have done any scouting on Luka and the Mavs, they should not play him in that Indiana game. They should not play him in that game. That should not be his debut. Would Avdia fix our problems? No. Avdia's good. Really fucking good. But no. Rick has owned Luka and Luka teams since the departure. Are you actually going to be streaming Laker games? I mean, it's a possibility. What's crazy to me is Nico saying, let's build a defensive team because that's what wins championships. Yet Luka murdered the Timberwolves in the playoffs. It's a good point, actually. Where would a 2025 Lakers title rank on the biggest screw-ups in NBA history? Oh, man, if the Lakers won a title this year, that'd be number 1. I mean, that's... I feel good knowing that I've had some basketball people DM me about the Grimes trade that know way more than me and have said that the Grimes trade's not bad at all. Well, with the $5 just tuning in, let me guess, everyone in chat hates the Martin trade and yelling at you like you did this and have done forever. Am I right? No, everyone did hate the Grimes trade, and I did say I didn't mind it at all, and I did get screamed at. That did happen. Chris Gristle just Z'd me? Oh, shit. Am I about to start a beef with Chris Gristle? Kyrie's reportedly staying. Nico's buddy too. Remember that? Yeah, Kyrie's staying. And also, the Mavs will give him a contract. And I don't know how many teams in the league would do that. Chris Gristle with the 5. Shout out to Chris Gristle. Oh my God. Chris Gristle. Shout out to Chris Gristle. What the fuck is wrong with you guys, bro? Dennis Schroeder just compared the NBA trade deadline to slavery. I have been recording for 2 hours. Whoops. This stream's been on for 3. Who are your realistic trade targets? What does realistic mean? What does realistic mean? I don't know. Kevin Durant? Like Kevin Durant? I don't know. Is Kevin Durant realistic now? Like, I don't know. I don't know. What are my unrealistic trade targets? I don't know, bro. I don't fucking know. Dave Nipple just reported called sex and Mavs. Man, Dave Nipple is a fraud. Okay, we've gone over this before. Dave Nipple does not have real, actual sources. Okay? Like, if Timmy Titty's not reporting it, then it's not real. And that's just the truth. The Sixers are 4-point favorites tonight, and Kyrie's playing. What do you think about Nico not having our best interest in mind? If it fails, he will be unemployable, right? So does he just secure a post-Mavs job with the Lakers? No. Luka probably hates his guts. So no. 2, he doesn't have the fans' best interest in mind. I do think that he, in his brain, thinks he has the team's best interest in mind. But that's his brain. His vision of that. I'll consider streaming Lakers games. Can anyone here answer how y'all can support this team still? I'm trying my hardest, but just can't support them anymore. I mean, do whatever the fuck you want, bro. Life's too short. If you need somebody to explain to you why they're still rooting for the team because you just don't have it in you anymore, then don't watch. Don't support. Okay? You don't need an explanation. You don't need somebody to tell you what to do. Like, just do what you want to fucking do. Life's too short. Nobody gives a shit, really. What's the most wild trade you've ever considered if you're a GM? Trading Luka requires balls, man. That's what I'm saying. People call Nico a coward. He is not a coward. That is not the word I would use to describe him. Exactly. I can't be your binky. He's not a coward. He might be a dumbass. Coward in how he did it. I don't think I would say that either. I don't think a single thing about trading your 24-year-old superstar, A 25-year-old superstar who didn't demand a trade is cowardly. The Binky was Luka's next nickname. Being afraid of the fallout, so you do it in secret, is cowardly. All right, so let me explain this to you. Again, I'm not justifying a single thing. I'm telling you guys why things happened the way that they did. From just my personal opinion, but also stuff that we've heard from reporting, stuff that I know I hate saying this, but I am texting and talking to people who are in the know on certain things. So, stuff that I've heard, stuff that I think, educated guesses, stuff that I've heard people say. They do it in secrecy because Nico decided, I think I want to trade Luka. I don't want to pay him $350 million. I'm worried about him. I'm worried about his conditioning, worried about his whatever the fucking reason, right? I don't want to get into it. Whatever reason Nico had. So he says, I want to do it. I survey the landscape. I landscape the league. I still want to win. I don't want to tear it down. We still have Kyrie. If we get a competitive piece in return, I think we can still be good. Anthony Davis is who I want. So, boom, you start talking. You start talking. You start talking. But you don't want it to come out. Why don't you want it to come out? The moment it comes out, agents get involved. They start turning the narratives. They start Luka's agents say, hey. If you're going to fucking trade us, it's going to be where we want to go. Clutch gets involved and says, hey. If you're trading AD, we want to say in this. So you say, let's not tell anyone. I want to do it. Let's just do it. That's why. Am I defending it? Of course not. Sam with the 1999, slightly hope you're well. Luka being the main reason I'm a B-ball fan and a Mavs fan for 5 years makes me question how I'll approach watching basketball again. This sounds OTT, but it'll be hard to watch the Mavs again without Luka. It will be difficult for sure. Finn with the 599. Nico is the dog on the leash of owners who sent a signal to the state of Texas, right? No. I just don't believe that. I don't believe that theory at all. I agree. It'll be hard. It'll be hard to. It's just not going to be the same ever, no matter what. Well, with the 5. I'm from the future, 2029. Your chat for the first time, August 11th, 2029. Didn't want your opinion on the Luka. It'll be here soon enough. 4 years. Wonder what happened. I wonder what happened. The problem now is it's growing by the day. Is a sense of loyalty and security is gone now. It's who's going to want to come here. Yeah, that's for the reason why you went out and got Nico Harrison was because he had great relationships across the league. I mean, you said that. And that's kind of bared out a little bit, you know. The problem is maybe too great of relationships. That's the problem. I need a new keyboard. I don't like the mechanical keyboard anymore. I just made a decision right now. This is how my brain's operating today. Literally, I don't know why the fuck my brain just went to that. It's 53 degrees outside. I thought it was supposed to be in the 70s today. The hell happened? I respect you, Sally. This chat has to play with your mental well-being. Hearing all these wild takes. Respect, brother. Yeah, I mean, as long as they're respectful to me, I don't care. As long as they're respectful to me, we can disagree on basketball opinions. I know my computer says 53. Keyboard. What are we thinking about keyboards, guys? Are wireless keyboards? I mean, what's like the vibe on those? Are those good? Are those bad? Like, what's the vibe on a wireless keyboard? pretty No wires? Hell no. Delay? There's a delay on wireless ones? Ooh. All right. Fuck that. Too much input lag? What's a rainy keyboard? $159? No, I'm good on that. No, it's not for gaming. I just need a new keyboard, and I don't want it to be mechanical. I don't want it to be mechanical. Grant Afseth bomb. Go wireless if you aren't gaming. Is this a real bomb? Multiple sources have told me there's increasing belief that Kevin Durant lands with the Golden State Warriors. Whoa, that's actually a bomb. Grant. Okay, Grant. Look at my guy Grant with the nuke. Come on, baby. Okay, Grant. Eric with the 199. Appreciate the content, bro, while I'm doing my route. No problem, Eric. Thanks for being here, brother. How about that, man? Round of applause. Round of applause. Grant, make that ass clap. Minutes to... What do you think of the Grimes trade I just joined? It makes sense to me. It makes sense to me. Is Grimes an upgrade over Caleb Martin? Yeah, probably. But I think Christie, the Mavs probably view Christie as an upgrade over Grimes. So Grimes' minutes probably get reduced. Until you trade a guy who's a restricted free agent in the summer who maybe you don't want to pay for do-it-all, dirty work wing who is on a pretty team-friendly deal. I think that's a perfectly fine. I think it's a perfectly fine trade. So what you know about that song? Round of applause? I mean, bro, I was in high school or junior high or something when that song came out. What do you mean? I know a lot about it. Baby, make that ass clap. There's no keyboard delay if you have a 2.4 gigahertz connection from Slam Dunksville. You guys are saying things that are scaring me now, so I'm just going to get the wired one. Another tweet from our guy Grant. I only mention this because the Dallas Mavericks are 9th in the West, and if the Golden State Warriors make a significant move, the competition will be more difficult if the move transpires. All right, Grant. No, you don't need to justify it, bro. Let your nuke fucking... Let the fallout from your nuke dissipate, man. Grant's young, too. I want to say Grant's young. He might be. This might be a nice little connection to have here. Shout out to my guy, Grant. Wireless keyboards are not it. Yeah, I'm not doing wireless keyboards. Like, what's the best type of keyboard for like a quiet? I kind of want it to be quiet. Noah Weber's great. Noah Weber's my hooping buddy. The quiet keyboard 3000 OS, man, I don't want a 3000. You know, can I just get a keyboard? 3,000 scares me. Quiet keyboard. 3,000 S. Stefan with the 199. Thoughts on O.J. Simpson's whereabouts on June 12th, 1994? If the glove doesn't fit, you must acquit. JN with the 27. I mean, he definitely did that shit. JN with the 27. How many first and second round picks do the Mavs have? I don't think they have a single second round pick anymore, do they? Just get a scissor switch keyboard for like $10 wired. Scissor switch. Keyboard. The keyboard TX564R R5 SE43K YYT873. I've heard that model, but in my opinion, the T872 it does the same thing. You know, they didn't really upgrade much, so I'm kind of just like looking at that one. It's a little bit cheaper. Now I'm worried that they're going to end the cloud service for it, shut down the servers. How does this one sound, guys? No, I don't want this. No, I don't want this. I don't want a wireless. I don't want a wireless. Cherry Stream keyboard. Wired. USB. SX. Scissors mechanism. K. QWERTY. Whisper quiet silent keystroke for home office. Work. Personal computer. How's that sound? Bring your mic close to the keyboard. Oh, I don't need to. You guys can hear it a mile away. Like, I really get annoyed whenever I watch back shit and you can hear me typing. It fucking annoys me, and I don't like it. Armando with the 5. Tell me what would have to happen for the Mavs to win a title in 3 to 4 years. A miracle. A miracle. What's the name for the Avseth bomb? Avseth. Grant grenade. Avseth. Atomic. Avseth atomic. The atomic Avseth. No. Asp bomb. No. Grant grenade. You just called it a nuke. Somebody in here called it a nuke. Avseth airstrike. That's pretty funny. Avseth airstrike is funny as fuck. Has Kyrie said anything? I'm waiting for a Kyrie interview. I mean, they're going to talk to him before the game, right? Grant ass clap was crazy, though. Yeah. Hold up. Dan with the 10. I'm still trying to figure out how Cuban negotiated a deal that left him 27% stake in the team with zero input into a trade. Or the most valuable asset by far, all-time fumble, honestly. Yeah, he got fucked over. All right. That phone call was probably an indication that we should head out. If you're listening to this on Spotify, leave a 5-star review. I love you. You answer the phone with yo? Yeah, depends on who it is. Answer the phone with a yo, what's up? Triple K playing tonight? Triple K. Oh, Kyler Kelly? Is that who you're talking about? Good night, South Africa. Now it's dinner time in Europe. Good night, Lucas. Hey, Boogs with a $4.99. Did I read every super chat today? I think Christy's playing tonight. I think I did. Tyler with the $4.99. I don't really remember this. Austin Reeves for Gaff, Omax first round pick, and Nico. Wife, I'd say at this point. Nick Jowers with a 5. Raise your hand if you've been personally victimized by Nico Harrison. I think those are the only two I missed. All right, guys. I had a whole stream planned, and then that fucking the trade derailed it all. Thank you all for coming in. All the OGs could have spent your Tuesday morning anywhere in the world. You decided to spend it here. New subscribers, I promise you guys will not regret it. Donations, members, you guys never have to do that, but it helps you out tremendously. It makes me feel so good. We'll be live tonight. We will be live tonight for the game on playback. I'll watch it. What time does it start? 6:30? We will survive. 6. Okay, wow. That's not that long away. All right, so I'll be live then. Did you get a call from Kid to suit up tonight? That's where I got to head out. If they got a private jet, I can get there about an hour or two before tip-off. This was a long-ass stream, I know. I mean, that's just the nature of it. Tomorrow, we'll be live again, 10:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. Then, of course, Thursday is the big one. Thursday's the big stream. I'm currently working on a Luka video that I will drop. So, a Luka video is on the way. And it's going to be a big one. It's going to be a big one. Did I already do my goodbye? My donations members, thank you guys so much. You never have to do that, but it helps you out tremendously. I'll see you guys tomorrow on this channel. I'll see you guys tonight. Love you all. Talk to you all later. And again, if a major trade happens between now and Thursday and I'm not live, I will go live. Love you all. Talk to you all later. Bye.